power in numbers, power in my tribe. I got the power to be me. I got the power cause I'm free. I got the power in my chi. Powerhouse inside of me. I got the power to be me. I got the power cause I'm free. I got the power in my chi. Powerhouse inside of me. Ancestors on my back like a power pack. They my power rangers, help me take my power back. If only got it to my vision, power never lack. Power to the people on my black power back. Ancestors on my back like a power pack. They my power rangers, help me take my power back. Hello, everybody. I'm absolutely amazing. I am absolutely amazing. Everybody share the live. Share the live, everybody. What up, though? Alkaline, everyone. I missed that table and them toes. Oh, my goodness. Hello, yes. Bloop, she's back. Missed you can't even more than you can imagine. Well, thank you, photo book page. I've been absolutely amazing, everyone. What up, though? What up, though? Yes, she's back. She's back. You missed that light flicker. She back. She back. Make sure everybody share the live, please. And everybody get some of this goodness. Hey, Layla, I invited you. Hey, Sharonda. I'm amazing. Where the hell you been? Man, off the grid and really relaxing. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't never miss Virgo season, baby. I ain't miss it. Yeah, I took a much needed break. It was amazing too. You know, you about to file a missing person report. Hey, Drew. Yeah, I was Tamika. I was mother. I went Path to Freedom. When I say I unplugged, baby, I unplugged. I unplugged. And it was absolutely amazing. Um, but, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Your time off was very well spent. It was. I was chilling. Oh, you stopped cooking dinner? Oh. Well, I hope y'all been doing good. Y'all been winning out here. Hey.
Peace, peace, peace. What's going on?
Nothing much. Also, for real, y'all need to drop some hearts. Because this lady right here, our favorite trustee, is why I'm back.
Look, I'm a guest in the house. I can't be like, if you're watching for the first time,
Go ahead. If you're watching for the first time, drop the
stay
hearts.
rooted.
Yes, but stay
Man,
rooted.
you had
Stay
to come out of
rooted.
retirement, man. What is really going on, man?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I was enjoying being mom and Tamika. Like, I can cut Path to Freedom on and off like a light switch. And when it's time to cut it off, because you can't give from an empty cup. You cannot get an
Absolutely.
empty cup. So I had to refill. And because things are changing, I had to go grab a new refill. I had to go get some extra because the old stuff just ain't what it is no more. But
Yeah.
yes. Hey, Huncho.
Yeah, yeah. You know, one of the things that I have stepped away from social media too because sometimes people don't understand how much it requires. You know, people pull you here and there, then your energy and things like that. So, you know, even though they may not have seen you on social media, you know, we've been in communication and you know, it was definitely needed. I think stepping back for sure because sometimes when someone tries to trigger and control you and they can't control you, you win and you know you win. So the fact that we've been doing some amazing things behind closed doors, I'm excited for your, you know, your community to see your evolvement.
Yes.
Like you've been doing some big things. So I'm excited to see how they respond to you, you
Right.
know?
And so have you. Put yourself on the back. For real, guys, for real. So I'm excited to a certain extent to be back, y'all. But I always told y'all that I just never leave y'all out there, you know. And hopefully, you guys have still been building your foundation, and more so than doing a process, understanding the role that you play and the power that you possess, right? Um, Guys, you know the Republic is back. If you knew that the Republic was back, drop ones in the chat for me.
For which you stand.
Right. We back under God we trust. Drop some ones if you notice. If you didn't do it, don't drop them because I really need to see how many people know that the Republic has been restored and it went into effect October the 1st. Is the government shut down or is the government closed? That's the question.
Which one, right?
Which
Yeah.
one? Because shut down and close don't mean the same thing. Shut down is
Mhm.
temporary,
That
right?
part.
Is it closed?
Mhm.
So in the process of them closing it
Or shutting it down.
or shutting it down,
Are
some
they making some
things
changes?
are they
Mm.
making some changes. And for the last month, they've been making these changes right in front of y'all face, and you may
We
not.
distracted.
There you go.
This season, what do we, these last few months is an opportunity for somebody to plant their seed. So drop a plant in the chat. Plant your seed, water your seed, nurture your seed. If it's something that's going to contaminate your mind, turn it off, unplug, refocus.
That's what they're gonna have to do. And right now, you know how you always say foundation, foundation, foundation. You're gonna need your foundation right now. You are absolutely going to need your foundation. And I'm very grateful for it's a couple of you, and I know y'all both in here. Like I said, I did what I did, but I was still in communication with those that won't drain my energy. I'll put it that way, right? And when these changes started happening, I started sending these changes to them to see if they see what I see. When I tell y'all they about the Mandela effect, well, excuse me, they already are doing the Mandela effect, and the changes that they are doing will be so minute that if you don't understand it or you don't have the eye to see, you're going to go right past it. We talking about a comma. If a comma was there and the comma is gone, that's a new business.
Mm.
Okay, and that's what's happening. The Republic has been restored.
Yeah, just in
So
case if somebody didn't catch that, when you have a business that is structured, and let's say you retitle it or you just go ahead and create a new entity, a lot of individuals may mirror the original business and they may say John Doe LLC, comma, or they may go John Doe, comma, LLC. Those are two different types of entities. Some people may
absolutely,
put a Roman numeral number beside the name, then let them know that it's a 2.0. That I hear that a lot, been going on 2.0.
yeah.
That's a new structure. And you don't know if some of these government agencies, some of these different entities are starting over new. So
Because
pay
they
attention.
absolutely are. So I remember, what was that, about a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, everybody was talking about the Zara and the Zara, and they like, I woke up and all my bills, it ain't been paid. This was not true, and it's a conspiracy theory. You have to look at it like this. Everyone that's on this live right now, you say that you are the creditor, right? If you say you the creditor, drop a 2 in the chat. If you feel like the goal and your standing when it comes to consumer law and contracts and ever, are you considered a debtor or are you considered a creditor?
Mm.
So if you say you're a creditor, drop a two in the chat. Okay, okay, okay. That's all. You know, I'm the creditor, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now think about the Zara and the Zara. If they are going to wipe away the debt and you are the creditor, they're not wiping away yours. Do y'all understand that? I don't care about what they understand. Hi, Mom. Hi, daughter. How are you?
Hey, hey, trustee.
So if that is the case, the debt that they are wiping away belongs to the debtor. And if all of these companies are the debtor, they're wiping away their debt. Their debt is ultimately your money, okay? Because of Obama and the Dodd-Frank Act, they're not getting another bailout. They're going to get what's called a bail-in. And if you don't know what bail-in means, go look it up. And this is why all last year, all the beginning of this year, I'm like, get a trust, get a brokerage account, get a trust, get a brokerage account, so that you can protect your funds, okay? So these companies, as of October the 1st, have
Restructure.
transferred the debt to another company that belongs to them, and they're going to crash the system. If you got money in the bank that's not protected because of the bail-in, right? The bail-in said that we now, the creditors, will not get bailed out, and whatever funds they have can be put into this bankruptcy reorganization, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're doing a voluntary bankruptcy reorganization, and they're switching your account
Involuntary.
over. Huh?
Involuntary.
Yeah, they doing a voluntary one.
Voluntary. Oh, okay.
Right. So involuntary is if we make them do it. But they are
Okay.
voluntary to saying, hey, we can't pay our debts. We need y'all to forgive them. Right. But what they're doing is they're changing over to a new company with a new EIN number, with a new principal address. And even though it may look the same, for example, and she's on there and she can contest to what I'm saying, and I'll even show y'all, because y'all know I still gonna drop the receipt.
Not right,
So,
right now. Not right now.
no, not right now. So she got a letter saying that her mortgage was being transferred, okay, to another company, even though the company is the same name. So I believe it was America First Home Mortgage, comma, LLC.
Mm-hmm.
They're transferring it to American First Home Mortgage with no comma. That's a new business. It has a new EIN number.
Mm-hmm.
They have changed everything. They have changed. Oh, Mirror Home. Okay. So yeah, it was called a Mirror Home. But if you was just to glance at it and look at it, you're not going to see the difference, because that comma, just like Layla said, that comma changes the whole entity, because it has to be done exactly. And she dropping it in the chat so y'all can see. She's putting what it was and what it is now. So yeah, Nazara and Gazara is going down, but it's not going to be beneficial for you. It's going to be beneficial for them, because they are the ones who owe us. So the key is to protect your money, to protect your assets, which is why I holler trust, 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 trust.
Well, not
Layla,
only that too, like I mean, we always talk about like everything's moving to a digital, right? They're doing digital currency, digital transactions. You got to go back and check like how was your account set up from the beginning? Is it only set up with you as your social being the owner on the account, meaning you naturally? Then that's why they have the ultimate control. This is why the estate is so important. So we're gonna. Hey, I'm ready to.
we ready to drop it.
We
So I
3 days
don't know.
in. You know what I mean? There's so much that's going. It's so many changes. I'm like.
Yes.
From my hair vendor shutting down because they got a whole holiday. From Diddy over here getting going to jail. Then you got or sentence. Then you got this over here. Then you got this distraction over here, and I'm just like,
Because
you know
that's what
how
they
on the
doing.
you know how on
This
the Color
Cardi
Purple when
B
they
and
were just
Nicki,
rocking.
right? The Cardi B and Nicki, a distraction. Um, Sean Cuffy, a distraction, right? The incident that happened at the live rally that really wasn't real, but we ain't gonna talk about that. If you know, then you know that was a distraction, right? And while all these distractions was going on, you missed something as simple as a comma, or you missed the fact that if you go look at their security change documents, you'll see that they changed. The way that the notes are called are changed, right? They're called callable notes now. It took effect October the 1st. So what a callable note mean, let's just say before this new system, that you had to be what, 3-4 months late on your car note before they
I
repoed it.
remember.
Now they can call that note immediately. So everything has changed, not just that. And if you want to test me out, Test it out. Go ahead. Getting an EIN number. This is the first question. With your
The system
EIN
changed.
number
The
or
whole
your,
system changed for the IRS just recently changed in September.
it did.
The
It
whole
absolutely
website.
did. The whole
Mm-hmm.
website has changed. It's not the
Mm-hmm.
same, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for you who actually went and got an EIN number off of IRS.gov previously, were you able ever to use a PO box for the address? That's a yes or a no. Yeah, the whole website changed. You never could use a PO box. You can now. Not just that, if you go get a trust right now, a EIN number, you know how before it was all capital letters. Everything was capital letters. And y'all know when I get off of here, I'll drop the proof for you guys. Your trust, all capital letters. Your trustee that says trustee, all capital letters. No, no. It's upper and lowercase now. Don't believe me? Push this live up and do IRS real quick and try to get an EIN number for a trust. You're going to see everything is in upper and lower case. Now, when you do a business EIN change, of course, the business name is still going to be in all capital letters, but the owner, whether it's you, whether it's your trust, you're going to see they are in upper and lower case. The system has changed to the point where the courts were in all capital letters. Like they doing the Mandela effect on us. The court name has always been in all capital letters, as well as your name, the plaintiff and the defendant. Oh no, not any longer. Everything is in upper and lower case. So when I tell you guys, this is a great time to be alive. My God, if you understand and get yourself in proper position, the system has changed. The method is, it looks different, but it's really not. So will you be prepared? Now, as far as, because they're doing this bankruptcy thing, up until November, you can go back to 2022. You're only going to be able to go back 3 years if you're going to get anything from the old system. But moving forward, are you going to operate in the proper capacity to be your own trustee and fiduciary without the middleman, without the bank, without these people? We have the ability to do so. I told y'all the IRS was our friend a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's
My
true private.
mentor.
Yeah, that's true private banking. And I ain't talking about using no 1099online.com. I ain't talking about using no tax act. I'm talking about straight going to the source, which is the treasury. We're all supposed to be there. Every last one of us. If you go on the ID.me website, it says that everybody, to do any business with them, you have to have that ID.me. So if you were a fourth quarter takeover and you did those steps that was in fourth quarter takeover, you're halfway ready. I did that for a reason. I told you I
Mm.
don't never give y'all something that y'all not supposed to have, because I was reading the big beautiful bill. I was seeing the changes that was going on. The United States dissolved in 2019. But they got so many years before everything starts switching over. Things have been switched over. Your state system. Remember this year, you either had to have a passport or you had to have a star, right? On your
The Real
license.
ID Act. Mm-hmm.
Right, the Real ID Act. The Real ID Act was put into place so that you can get into another contract with the state on their new level.
Well,
So, oh, tell them about when you went to the bank the other day. Because the way that trusts are being operated is also changing.
oh yeah, I've been getting a lot of people that's like, oh, I want to, do something in South Dakota or Wyoming, Nevada, but I'm over here in Florida or I'm over here in Texas, and what do I do? Or what do I'm just like, why would you do something that's so far away from you? So I got to do my own research. I get in the field, roll my sleeves up. So let me put my disclaimer because y'all know how they like to tussle. But my disclaimer is that this will not constitute as financial advice or legal advice. I am not a CPA or attorney, or financial advisor. But y'all get where I'm going with this. Screen recorders, y'all already know. Drop a camera in the chat. But what happens is when you have a trust that's from a different state and you reside or you are in another state, you cannot just open up an account in another state. So if you want a South Dakota trust, then you have to open up a bank account in South Dakota. And I think that a lot of people was confused with that. It's like, oh, I want anonymity. Oh, I want asset protection. I want it to be bulletproof. I want it to be dynasty. I want it to be, perpetual and things like that, and not understanding the core concept of how your trustees have power and how they're supposed to act within the county and the state. And I hear this all the time. Oh, but you're completely out of the jurisdiction. You're completely out of the system, and you want to open up a bank account, then you got to understand how you operating in business. It is going to be considered a business contract with the state. So you do want to make sure that you are operating within the jurisdiction of where the trust is registered. Yes, you can get a virtual notary. They can go ahead and notarize it for you, but how will you be able to operate with the documents if you're not in that state? Even if you get a virtual address, if the trustee has an address that is within that state and is virtual, that's still not enough to do business in that state, especially when you're trying to open up a bank account, unless you are physically there to walk in the bank and open up the account yourself. Now, someone's going to question and say, what about online banking? There's errors that take place all the time. When I'm sitting in the bank, I went to the wrong state intentionally to get this information. And yeah, he confirmed it. We looked it up for the bank commissioners, and that is true. And that's why a lot of people are having a hard time funding their trust. If they try to do it on their own, not understanding the trustee roles and responsibilities, you are going to hit a brick road, or a brick wall, or you are going to have a stop unless you really truly understand. And I'll even, like I said, throw that foreign concept in there, where if you do have a foreign trust and you don't have a trustee that is over there to facilitate as a trustee, wherever it's going to be registered or domicile, or in that embassy, you still would have to have some type of core connection to that embassy so someone can orchestrate on that side. Now, if you have a trust and you do it that way, that is going to be up to you. If you cannot fund that trust, then you just have a whole bunch of documents and you won't be able to do anything. And you got to get the proper coaching and the understanding. And hopefully, if you guys never took any of the classes or anything, learn from anything that I've stated, then hopefully you'll be able to tap in.
Fear has everyone guessing. It's understandable. Well, yeah, and that's why you're not supposed to walk in fear.
Yeah, your fear is your worst enemy. That could never help you in any situation. Do it scared. You know what I'm saying? I think when people, if you fear certain things, then that means you at a pivotal point that you have to take matters into your own hands. Are you going to sit down and learn some more things that's going to help benefit you and your family? Or you going to be running in place just fear and fear? And I choose not to live that way. I choose to open a book, tune into all these. I mean, you know what's interesting? It's like, I'll give you guys a quick gem. If you use like Google Alert, like you could do Google Alert and have it sent to your email. You could just have it sent to you. If you want to know about the big beautiful bill, you want to know about changes with the government, with the enactments, Bill of Rights, estate planning. You want to learn about all these different things, let the alerts come to you. So that way there's your syllables. Okay, you're in class, you're learning. A lot of people always feel like, oh, information is free, but I mean, they give you headlines and let you know what's up to par. He talked about Project 25. We are in 2025. We are almost clearing out the year almost. And if you stayed the same and you didn't try to invest in yourself, I would say invest in yourself. Rather, if anyone is a different vehicle where you get the information from, but when you invest in yourself and you say, I need to just do something different. If you don't know where to go, you don't know where to start, of course, go to those that can help you. But if that don't feel right in your spirit, don't even force yourself because you fear. I tell people, don't give me alligator hands. You over here timid and step back, catch a free live. Hey, scroll on a page, learn something first. But if you are like, I need this information, like how I that's how I was. I'm like, oh my God, I need this information. Yeah, I operated at fear and operated and executed with the information because I'm like, hold on. So y'all mean to tell me if I was to contract COVID, I could check out of here in a couple of weeks? That's how people were leaving this earth. I was watching people on Facebook post their last status, literally put their address, was like, I only got my kids here. They only 14 and 13. Somebody come get them, take care of them, and was checking out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I operate on fear and I operated the same with information and it changed my life. So
And it will absolutely change your life. It will absolutely change your life. Um, So like when I first left,
I
I
can't see
just
comments if anybody's saying comments. So I'm sorry. So if anybody said anything,
oh you can't see him. Oh,
but it's okay.
um, when I first left, it was for a break that I absolutely positively needed, and when I started noticing all of the changes, I climbed back up under the ground to emerge back and tell you guys what's happening. I can't force this information on you, but I have a duty, I feel, to make sure that the information is provided and is provided correctly. But at that point, you will have to do the necessary work. As I stated, this is the best. Oh my God. We'll never see this again. This is the greatest time to be alive. If y'all even notice, they're redoing the Constitution, which is the corporation Constitution, right? That's why they trying to go after our firearms and our freedom of speech and this, that, and the other. Even if you notice on a spiritual level, on certain social media apps, you can see they're letting a lot be said. They showing us what the other countries look like. They're trying to get you to start accepting, especially China. Every time you turn around, there's something about China, right? Because the social credit score system is about to take place. There's about to be a time very soon. I just seen I forgot your name. No, where's she at? No, you know what I'm talking about. Known before it's known. That when it's going to be time financial, instead of showing your ID, you're going to have to log in to ID.me. That is about to be the new verification system. They've already changed it. And they did that. If you go on ID.me and watch the videos, they said they're doing that to stop the fraud from the bad actors. We know
Mm-hmm.
who's the actors, the ones who have been acting like us and not paying their debts and not paying us as the creditors. So yes, the system is changing, but you do have time to properly get into position that as the new system change, you change, right? I told you guys 2 years ago, get some XRP, get some XRP. Well, go look at the Security Exchange filing when it comes to digital assets. There's a new digital change law. We can't stop what is about to happen, but what you can do is prepare yourself for it. Everything has changed, even down if you a CDL driver, that's on this live. You know how you needed the motor carrier number and the dot number. Well, they went away with the motor carrier number. Everything is being changed, but it's being changed to a point that your freedom is attached to it. And now I can say there's not much time. This last quarter, they about to do some stuff. They're going to take this last quarter to pull off what they're going to pull off. And my thing is, are you going to be ready when they do it? So
Mm.
like I said, me and Layla have been talking. I've been telling her to change, and she's telling me the different things that's going on with the trust. Because y'all know I do my trust, but Layla, that's the girl when it comes to a trust. If you want or turning yourself into a business, that's her expertise. And I have a few of my students that's on here. Like I said, that I was letting them know that changes are being done and showing them the different things. But what I decided, because like I said, I was enjoying my time off.
Now
I
you hear they come
love
out
it.
of the time. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, she called me the other day, like, come on. I'm like, oh, but you know what? I'm gonna do that, regardless to anything. So what we have
Close
decided
up.
to do, um, we say it's Sunday, right? The 12th.
Yeah. What time? Hold on. Very good.
When
No, that's next week.
mhm,
That's next week. We could do next week. Next week. I'm
next week.
sorry. Eagles play
I know.
Sunday. They play Thursday, so yeah, Sunday. But can it be early? I got class Sunday too.
Yes, we can, or we'll decide on a definite date.
Yeah,
So
I got.
next week we are going to host a free seminar showing you guys all the changes. There's going to be some things with your trust that you're going to need to change to make sure that it's complying with the new system. Um, I have suggested you don't have to because of how the trusts are set up now with the upper lower case, and there even the sub prefix of the EIN number starts with 39. So if you know anything about the number 39 to the IRS, that stands for Philadelphia. We do
Okay.
know, I hope y'all know, that the original Constitution was written in Philadelphia. I even told you guys, I believe it's 600 Market Street, that particular governmental building is the foreign side of the United
Girl,
States,
if you don't get off
right?
my couch.
So to update you guys on the changes, to show you guys what you're looking at, because like I said, they Mandela effect. We are going to host a free seminar for you guys so that you guys can get in position to still take back some of what was already taken from you, despite the fact that they are doing the voluntary bankruptcy with reorganization. If you don't know what that means, go look it up, and it's going to tell you exactly what they did, right? What the new notes are called, and etc., and what changes that you may need to do to your trust.
I think what
Um,
I can help with I mean, that I know for sure that could kind of help other trustees is showing them like, the decanting, like how to do like the decanting, like just kind of showing them what it looks like if you have to make changes, what it looks like in your state. I mean, because of course we don't know who all going to be tuning in. Just kind of show them where to look for that stuff so they won't be at no one's mercy. You can know if you need to make updates, you need to make changes, if you want to still go according to that statute. What if that statute have revised statute and it's changed, and you just make a statement that you are still protected under that revised statute? The reason why you want to be protected, and this is another thing, the reason why you want to be protected under that revised statute is because if you have an irrevocable trust and you are the grantor and you gave up control, what you're ultimately doing is making sure that those assets are removed out of the estate, so probate won't come in and say, oh, well, this is outdated. Oh, this is not asset protected. Oh, this was not removed from the estate. This is still under a statute that is no longer in existence. You get what I'm saying? So you do want to make sure that you continue to follow and how to update, how to do revisions, and how to follow up and keep up with your stuff. I mean, just having a trust is just not the cool saying of like own nothing and control everything. You literally
that's
have to
right.
understand what you're doing.
Somebody said, can you talk about the general post office? For what? Everybody should
No,
have a PO box.
I asked you
That's
to.
that's banking. That's a lockbox to lockbox funding. So everybody should have a PO box. Everybody should be operating out a PO box. And as I said, you can now use your PO box address when you get an EIN number. Y'all don't believe me? Go read it. I promise you. So at this point, you should get your PO box first, and then do your EIN application for EINs that you currently already have. There's revisions, which Layla will show y'all, that can be done so that you can make sure that you're updating the address, which we know is the 8822B form, and etc. The system has changed. And long story short, it's a great time to be alive and get yourself free and do for real private banking. Private banking is between you as the trustee and the IRS using only the ID.me system. Okay. And I feel bad because there's one person that I was talking to and they can't even get in their ID.me because of old girl, the CPA girl. So if you were ready to win, I'll make sure that you can even access your ID.me.
Mm.
Okay. You want it because you're gonna have to access that. It said that everybody in the world are now gonna do their verifications through that system. Okay. The United States has been dissolved. And now they're trying to run off with all your money. Just as simple as that. And you have to remember that you are a trustee. So when you're signing papers, it need to say trustee. Stop making yourself liable for these so-called debts by not signing it properly. Me and Layla was talking earlier, and she
Girl.
brought up, tell them about that. And because most people don't even realize that, but we were having a conversation earlier about
I think
someone.
what people have to realize, especially on social media, I get it. I get it. There's a lot of information that is out there. Things can look so good, and you can say that you are operating through a trust, through God, and you can say all these things. You could be, you can sign the trust with your finger. First of all, the stuff that I be seeing these days, it blows me. Okay, one trust, which how do we see it? Because again, if you go and do something illegal, let me just say that, and you think a trust is going to uphold with your illegal activity, that's not going to happen. And now you're forced to bring the trust into jurisdiction because you consider it being the land of the law and that you ain't follow under no it was crazy how this thing was written up. And the individual signed the trust with a red, I don't know if it was blood for real. I don't know what y'all got going on with that. But I was like, even with the trust, you didn't even sign as trustee. That was like every, I don't care how many statutes you thought you was going not be under. I mean, the person was like, I am I'm trying to remember what it was saying. It was like, I am um God and God man and it was when I tell you that attorney said, baby, what you talking about don't got nothing to do with the statutes of the trust law within this. It was just plain and simple.
And then they didn't even sign it as trustee.
They did not sign that
They
paperwork
put
as
their thumbprint
trustee.
and I believe a signature, but they forgot the trustee part. So it's just like, so I do have a question that I want
And
to
every single
ask.
asset was seized.
Every
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 single
single.
asset was seized. So you have to understand, like, what are you guys trying to do? Are you doing this for the benefit of you and your family, or you just being selfish because you think you got this information and you think you higher than the above the law, and it's just, if you trying to really learn how to operate utilizing your trust, funding your trust. If you have assets that you had in your name and you're trying to get them out of your name and transfer them over to the ownership and the title of your trust, you have to do it properly. And you have to understand, like, all the mumble jumble, it would look beautiful. It looked like it was important paperwork, and it didn't mean a thing. Didn't mean a
Um,
thing.
didn't mean a thing. MGM guns, man. What are y'all talking about? Y'all talk about shit and don't get the steps. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you think that one live is going to free your life. But if you don't have any foundation, it does sound like we're not saying anything. But the people that's here that's been doing this and they've been reading, they understand what is being said. Okay? So that's a you problem, right? Like I literally got a YouTube page and I just left it all open, and it's not my responsibility to make sure that you get it. And even if I was to give you the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you have no clue what's happening, it's not going to work for you. I'm telling you guys now, this is the season that you're going to need some foundation and you're going to have to do the work. Stop looking for a savior.
Well, I can't see the person who said that, but the fact that you feel as though we didn't say anything, maybe you're just not ready to receive it. Like here's the thing. When I first was learning and trying to understand trust, it was years before I actually just submitted to the information. I set my pride aside. It was like, wait a minute. Wait, I need to know this. Like, I need to know this for my greater good, not for nobody else's. It's almost 400 people on here, and whoever received the information. If it resonates, if it resonates. If it don't, it don't. I'm not about to
Okay.
sit up here and have a class right now, but I think people need to understand what's coming down the pipeline. We can help you, but it's up to you.
Okay, so I got a question. It was a question, but I'm going to direct this question to you, Miss Trustee. It says, as trustee, can you also be co-beneficiary? In Georgia, they don't let the trustee represent the trust without an attorney. So they
What?
want to be trustee and co-beneficiary. But now, if you die, you dead. What do you mean co-beneficiary? But can you
Yeah,
answer that?
I think the terminology is one. First of all, saying represent something is probably wrong terminology. I don't know what type of trust you have because that all varies too. And if you have trustee on the back of your name, that means you're inflicting a power. Like, your title has a power. If you are yourself, then you are yourself. Now, if you have different types of trust, like revocable, mean you still have the power and control. So that's why somebody's like, you don't want to be the trustee because you still got power and control. Someone will allocate that to someone else. If you have an irrevocable trust, you already gave up the power. You already gave up the power. But if you're saying, well, while I'm living, because it's a living trust, while I'm living, then I can orchestrate this. Now, will a court say, well, you still have some type of, you're being biased because you still have some type of control? That's up to the courts to decide. And if you don't have anybody, or if you do have somebody, you can always appoint someone to have control. It's always based on how you would like fund your trust, manage your trust. If you know your role in power, you know your role in power. Like, once I get married, I'm Mrs. that person is Miss. You get what I'm saying? Guess what? Mrs. will apply to a whole different title. You get what I'm saying? So I try to make it in layman's terms so you can get an understanding. But when somebody tells you Atlanta won't allow you to do something, I know you said Atlanta, but I'm saying Georgia State won't allow you to do something, you have to say, well, can I see something in writing? And then you have to go back to your paperwork and see if this is what you have in writing. So you may have something in your trust documents that does not allow certain powers, certain activities, certain roles, or someone told you that and you didn't get burden of proof of whoever told you that. So
That's correct. You
somebody
said
said,
it.
"Oh, you can't be the trustee. You can't create a trust." People say a whole bunch of stuff, and then you can't prove it in writing. Then you're gonna fall for someone telling you something and you didn't see it in black and white.
That's right. That is
You
right. So
had to
you
read me the questions because I can't see no comment.
okay. So this one is for me though. We overstand, yet my question is, will we still rely on the same people who oppress rather than validate? And my answer to that is you are oppressing yourself. You are oppressing yourself because you have not put yourself in the proper position to call the shots as trustee and knowing how to properly manage your affairs,
You
right?
know, I'm okay. I'm gonna let you
Go
finish.
ahead. Go ahead.
I think when people say, "Are we still under the oppression?" Like I gotta go back to what do you have? Like what do you have? Like if you have a property here in the state, then it's state property. Like you trying to be obsolete or you don't want to have no control over, I mean, you don't want to have no governance over, no one to have governance over your stuff or you're saying. But I think what we're forgetting is how you approach the application, how you approach the conversation, the contract. How are you walking into these establishments? Are you walking into the establishment as your natural self, or are you entering to a business contract as a business so it's an even playing field? So now they're not governing over you because you're not showing up in a transaction. Does that make sense? I think that when people say that, and I'm like, well, what do you have? You don't want no one to have control, but you want to go to the bank and they got to let you in at 9 o'clock when they open. They got control of when you go into the bank. I think that we kind of miss in throwing these words around, and you don't have an understanding of what you're trying to like say. Then you won't have an understanding of what you're trying to protect. That makes sense. Because if I want to protect my intellectual property, then I have to have some type of governance statute that I need to go and follow and say, this will allow me to do this to have power and control. That makes sense?
Correct.
Okay.
So then someone said, Florida probate requires an attorney to represent. The goal is to not get to probate, and you don't get to probate by making sure that your assets is in the name of a trust, that you have titled everything over to a trust. No, your beneficiary should not be you. And my way of doing it is another trust is a beneficiary of all of my trusts. It will never step in probate. Y'all know this is how I got into this with my mom in probate, and she didn't have nothing right. And when I tell you they took everything, they took it all because her assets were not protected. So if you have a trust and all of your assets are there, you have your successor, you have your beneficiaries and things set up, then you won't have that problem with probate. Probate only says that an attorney has to be over a trust is because your case has went to probate after a death, and now they have to assign a trustee to handle all of your affairs. Of course they have to be an attorney then, right?
Or
But
it could be too, like they may have to get a bond because they may not be in the same state. So sometimes you may be trying to access an estate and you're not in the same state. Like, I mean, everyone's situation is different. So I think they're throwing certain things out, and maybe a clerk could have told them something.
right,
Or, like you said, their situation is past tense where someone is already a decedent, or someone's going down to probate and they ain't even deceased and they trying to handle probate and they living. I've seen it. I've heard people say that. Well, I want to go down there and put my estate on notice. I'm like, now tell me, why would you do that? I think sometimes we just get so much information and it's here and we don't have steps as to why we need to know this. When do we need to, and operate on this information, and when do we need to execute? So
And then your trust has to be recorded.
not
The-
the not
Not
the
the full trust, just the certificate of trust. If you are saying that you are going to handle your own affairs, that you are the trustee um, over your assets, that needs to be in writing and it needs to be registered properly. Okay, so I have a question and I want to know how many people can answer this. The birth certificate trust, the first original trust that created us, right? Who
Mhm.
is the registered agent for that? Do anybody know?
Mhm.
If you don't know, it's okay. If you're going to guess it, okay. We can't get nowhere if I don't know what you guys know. So the original trust that was made,
The
I said,
constructive trust is considered a constructive trust,
okay,
right?
there we go. So
Hmm.
who is the registered agent over that trust?
Who they what they saying?
Somebody said county clerk. Somebody else said clerk. Okay, you're absolutely
Not
correct.
too big, yeah, not too bad.
So even though they're the registered agent over the trust, who is the administrator?
Hmm.
No, banking note company is who they transferred it to. Somebody said the Department of the
Who?
county. Somebody said the Department of Revenue,
Mm.
the clerk that signed off on it. So if the clerk that signed off on it is the registered agent, who is the administrator? The state, the registrar. You want to tell them?
Mr. Vital statistics, vital record statistics.
Yeah,
And
they
then,
got.
yeah, yeah, they was kind of, I mean, they was kind of close. I mean,
They
because
was
it's
kind
still
of
in the county.
close.
Yeah, it's still in the county clerk's office. That's why I try to tell people that's where all of your
Everything is.
certificates come from. Your certificates come from there, and that's why you record your certificate as well to put them on notice. But I try to explain to people every state is does not, some states are oral states, right? Oral states is mean that you verbally state this is your last testament, right? Some people are getting confused by recording the certificate in the state if they don't have any property. You have to record a certificate with some type of description. That if you don't have no property, then that's not something that you need to do at that moment. So every state, it varies from state to state. That's why if you guys are not in the trusteeship original program, that's probably why some people are like, well, wait, what do we do? What do we do? That's why I help you guys find the certificate of trust. Because every state don't even say certificate of trust. They have different addendums or different terms, but that's why the deeds.com was so helpful for you guys because it shows you your state, it shows you your county. You can select certificate of trust or trust abstract or memorandum of trust, and it tells you what this document is used for, and it tells you what how you should use it, how you should use it with third parties. And that's the document that you're sharing and you're showing, but it's not, exposing or revealing the full trust declaration. You still have some privacy and you still have some anonymity based on how it's structured, those clauses that has those protection clauses in there. So it's a lot that people are just one, a lot of people don't even read the trust. i
That
see
part.
I done seen aunties and uncles, your elders, they get wills, they not even reading what it says. Some of the stuff is contradicting.
You have a county and a state birth certificate. Yes. So the one at the county is the original birth certificate. The state is when the county
The vice
transferred it.
versa.
Right, because the county is always first. You know, go from the hospital where you're giving them authorization, and then they send it over to the county. So the county is always the registered agent. And when you get yourself on the record right, you are the administrator. You are administering your trust now and don't even realize it. You are the one signing all the documents everywhere, correct?
I think that's where people have to understand the express trust, right? So the express trust is more you're expressing the control. You're expressing. Oh, that word is tongue tied. You are expressing in your own terms, in your own writing, who's going to be the successor. If not, someone else is going to be the successor. That means the the courts can appoint someone else. Can be a guardianship, could be a conservator. So you're expressing who will be in that particular document. So I think Constructive trust, express trust, that means you're taking it out of the control of someone else that you have maybe no knowledge of, and that you are having that
Now the
control.
administrator. And I see a lot of questions asking about how do you sign it as trustee. So I'll tell you how mine is set up. So of course I am the trustee over my trust because I'm still here. Okay. My co-trustee is one of my children. The beneficiary is another trust. That trust is ran by my children. So it stops it from going to probate. And like she said, I expressed everything, how everything's supposed to be. All of the accounts are already transferred over to the trust anyway. So the trust is the beneficiary. And then I made sure that my children are the trustees for that in case something happens. You know, I've seen people put their self down as beneficiary. No, because if something happens and you put yourself down as beneficiary, you gone, guess where it's going? It's going to probate. Now, the
Well, you
courts is going to
always have
decide.
Yeah, you always have to have a moving piece, though. I think that where people get confused with the trust is not something that is set up just for you today, and that when you die, it goes get empty and dumped out. That's what typically, I'm gonna say, the American way, I guess, is what they're trying to say. Oh, put your kids, put your loved ones as beneficiaries. They'll be able to inherit the things that you leave behind. What I have a box there. Let me make sure I don't have no address on. So let me do this. Let's say here, this is a trust, right? Let's say this is a trust and you fund everything with the trust. Everything that's in this trust, you'll have your loved ones that is listed inside the trust, and that you're passing the role and responsibility to your next generation. So everything in here, property, bank accounts, investment accounts, businesses. This is why you want to title your trust to be the owner of a business, right? Because if something was to happen to you, nothing happened to the owner. That business will continue to operate. That account will still be open. It won't be frozen. It still will be able to operate. But what happens is trustees are the moving pieces. The moving pieces are allowing you to either continue to fund the trust, continue to, operate that business. Maybe you're saying, oh, well, this child don't know nothing about my business. Okay, well, can't a business hire someone that is knowledgeable in that category? Then that person will hire someone to run the family business. You're putting all the things in the trust, and then you're passing the role to the next generation. That makes sense. Everything is still in the trust. If not, when you put it in somebody's name, you dump out the assets in the trust, or the trustee is handing over these things. The trustee is facilitating the transfer, and what you just did was you just released the assets out the trust. Now it goes from private trust owned to public and Sarah owned, or John owned. You taking it out of the trust. So I think that understanding how the trust works and what is it for? Is it for the placement of a person? Yes, a living person, because we know that we all can expire one day. So it's like a hot potato. I like to say hot potato, but it's like passing the baton. That is the terminology of passing the baton. The baton is the trust. But pass to the generation. So when someone dies, they're not dumping out the assets. It's still moving. It's still active. It's still, the trustees are still operating on behalf of the original intentions of the trust. So hopefully that helps.
Yes, absolutely. And I see a couple of people talking about should my child be the beneficiary? Me personally,
I
no.
just explained it. I don't know.
See, you definitely want another trust because if I put my child's name down there, now she's responsible for the taxes. I'm transferring it from trust to trust, and it's staying protected. If you don't have any children, somebody that you trust, and
And
they're
just to
only going to
kind of
step in that role if something was to happen to you, but it's still being given to a trust, and you have expressed everything that that trustee is supposed to do. They can't do anything outside of what you already expressed within the trust itself.
But I think people who also got to understand, and this again, this is my legal disclaimer. This is not no offer, no tax advice or no financial advice. But anything that's dumped out of one trust is a distribution tax. It's gonna have some type of, you know, taxable event, right? So that's why I try to explain to people that the continuance of a successor trustee, that's that continuance is that, operate. And this is why people are asking, like, why did you become an entity? Why Layla Lockwood LLC is such a major part in this family office or building this dynasty, building this empire, is because if I, God forbid, are no longer here, that entity still will be able to be ran. And if that position is an entity or a trust, because again, listen, based on your level of knowledge or complexity, that is up to you. But you still got to know how to move. You still got to know if you are the only one learning this information, why put someone there or put a trust there and the trustees of the other trust don't know what to do. So I think it boils down to you're learning this in your generation. Maybe you're the first trustee, but it's important to know who's going to be the next one to control it. They need to learn that information as well. If not, your trust can still end up in court. Still end up in court based on the generation that if got to, they're like, I don't know what to do. Then
That
the
part.
defeats the point. So I don't know. It's a way. It's a new way of living for me and my family. I don't think the same. I don't move the same. I don't operate the same. I'm learning every day. Like I said, things are changing. I'm paying attention to what's going on. People can, and I'm not saying it because I know that I appreciate those that tap in with me and they say I want to learn from, her. I don't want people to just stop there. You know what I mean? I want people to understand that when they leave any of my presence of learning something, that it's like, okay, I get the concept, but I do know it's on me and my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, this can't just be, oh, I gotta trust because I gotta trust. You feel as though you don't know why you have a trust, don't even start until you understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. That why part is so critical. Not I just gotta trust because to get a trust. Because somebody said it on TikTok, somebody said it on Instagram, and they got a lifestyle. Mm-mm. Then you don't know why you need trust. I want to get a trust, but it's so expensive. Yeah, you ever try getting a $300,000 house foreclosed on you? Yeah, that's expensive too.
That
Just
part.
certain things like you don't know. Oh, my auntie passed away, and she had $30,000 in a bank account. They froze it because she didn't have some protection. But you complain about somebody that had a couple of thousand, or you complain about a class that was $50. You complain about a class that was free. Some people are always like, they don't, a lot of people don't even value free because they feel like, oh, if you
They
give away for
sure
free,
don't.
it's nothing in there. It's not information. This live is valuable. Some people still like, y'all saying a whole bunch of nothing. It's like, I'm only talking to those that, that it resonate with. That's it. Because I know what we're doing for my family. So I think just helping you guys, if it's something that triggered in the system and I'm paying attention to it, maybe other people are not paying attention to it. I just be an advocate to help you guys stay on it for your family.
And that's exactly what this is for. This is exactly what this live is for. This is exactly what the free seminar that we're going to hold next week, so that we can arm you with the information that you need and the knowledge. But once we give it to you, it's on you. It's on you. Like I said, I took my little time off, but when I did flip the switch back on and start seeing the changes, guess what I did? I got me and my family in position. I
Mm.
did what was needed to be done because, man, when I tell y'all it's a great time to be alive, it is a great time to be
I mean,
alive.
I said it the other day, man. This history that repeats itself. If you don't know what's going on, look what happened before and after the government shut down.
Yeah.
This is not. I mean, it's probably new to us, or new depending on how old you are, new to the generation. There are some people that work in the system, work for the government, and they don't know what's going on.
Nope.
Some of us are just controlled by the, you know, I wouldn't say the four walls, but I mean, I could still say too uh um what they feed us. I was trying to think of a word, but I couldn't think of it. You maybe my cousin's smarter than me. You can put it in the chat, but I can't think of the word. It's at the tip of my tongue. Shit.
Will we get
What is
advance notice or what? I'm gonna actually drop. I will drop a link for you to be able to register for the webinar. Like I said, this will be a free webinar. It will be an informational webinar showing you guys the changes that they have made that you may not even notice, and what would be your next steps on to make sure that you're not left behind, and not just behind, but moving forward. You will know how to operate within this system that is still almost the same, but it's different. it looks different. Instead of green money, now everything's going to be digital. But at the end, things like the Treasury and rules like that are still in place. I don't know if y'all noticed that the Treasury is not printing out any checks any longer. You can now get a check from the Treasury. And if you understood why. So, for example, y'all seen some months ago where one of the students, she filed whatever she filed, and she got a check for almost $500,000. This is on my page. And remember, she took it to Bank of America, and then Bank of America closed her account and kept the money because she helped Bank of America participate in fraud, honestly, right? Because they're not reporting it to the IRS. So the IRS is making sure that these corporations cannot commit fraud and making sure that we don't help them participate in it, which means now everything has to be done electronically. So how is that? The goal is to move the third parties out of the way. But in order for you to do that, you're going to have to know how to properly access the system, how to properly be your trustee, how to properly be your fiduciary. So that's back, and like I said in fourth quarter when I told y'all your certificate for the trust, your 2848, your 56, your 56F, you want to get those things done and also upload it to the IRS so that they can know that that is you. I promise y'all I did that for a reason, right? So for you guys who have done it, congratulations, you're halfway there. Yes, there's a little tweak here and a tweak there, but that's nothing but to just update some forms, update your trust in the certain areas that it needs to be done in. But even after you do that, are you going to know how to properly access the system to your benefit? What you do in the next, I'm going to say 120 days, because it's about to get shook up in this last quarter. What you're going to do in this next 120 days is going to dictate the next 99 years of your bloodline history. Y'all know they do everything 99. 9 is the last number. There's no number after 9, right? Because 10 is not a number. That's 1 and 0. We're in the 9th year and in the 9th month. They ended everything on 9/30. If you don't believe me, go and pull their filings. You'll see the date September 30th. You'll see it'll start on 10/1. So this last quarter, what they're about to attempt, well, they're not attempting, they are doing. They are going to bankrupt the entire system to start over. It's going to look different, right? Now, y'all know I came out with Step Endorsing years ago. Y'all know I'm the creator of that. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, I am. But now they're going to e-contracts. So what can you stamp and what can you send? How are you supposed to now gain remedy? The old system is done. And I wouldn't be me because despite anything, I try to help everybody that I can and everybody that is willing to now understand how the system is being operated and not at least come back and say, here, but now it's going to be up to you. I know y'all remember last year, I told you guys that I was studying to take the enroll agent exam. I even suggested that y'all go and do the same thing. Baby, let me tell you something. Best thing I could have ever done. The best thing that I could have ever done was study for that enroll agent exam. I promise you it was. And everything is at your fingertips, but you're going to have to be able to get an ID.me to do this. So I'm going to show you guys. It is up to you to do it. I'm not holding anyone's hand. I promise you I'm not. I don't have time to. And honestly, you don't have time to as well. The only savior is you. I told you guys how important the UCC filings was. Now, if you don't believe me, go look this up. Okay, I'm going to tell you where you can find it. So you know they have this saying, Christ is King and Jesus saves, right? Everybody know Jesus saves. That's what they said. Well, Jesus really did save. If you go look into the Washington UCC system, you will see that there's a UCC lien that Christ Jesus, okay, because that's how it is, last name first, first name last, right? Has a UCC lien on all of the countries as the countries being the debtor. The assigner is the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the United Nations, and hold on to your seat, God. Go look it up for yourself. I will drop it. It is up to you if you want to go read it yourself. So yeah, Jesus did say he absolutely did, because the debt is all on them. So now you have to put yourself in position to make sure, one, that these brokers and security transfer agents are no longer stealing from us. And even though this system, the way that Trump is moving, it seems like but he's not. He really bankrupt these people. We are back up under national status. You know how you can confirm that? The National Guard has been deployed where? Everywhere. National Guard. Look at the word. National Guard. So the Republic, in God we trust, is back, and use this window of time to get yourself set up so that moving forward, you will understand what to do, how to do it, how to properly do your private banking. And it's not done through It ain't done through Charles Schwab is the broker's account. It does protect your money. But you filling out a 56F with your name being the representative as the fiduciary over your trust, how are you supposed to conduct? Where are you supposed to conduct it at? How are you supposed to file it? It is the reason that when you get an EIN number for a trust, it says that you must file a 1041. Well, we know back from last year, I showed you guys you got a what? 3 billion exemption every year. So how do you get it? Right? People who actually got credits stuck on the IRS website because it's just stuck there and you don't know what to do and how to get it because you're not properly in position. Um, so I want to be a help, but you gotta want to do it. I only can do so much. Layla can only do so much. We are here to provide you guys with the information that you need, and from there you got to take off. But I will tell you, there's not much time left. There's not much time left before they try to start the social credit system and et cetera. And see, the thing is, because they're doing voluntary bankruptcies, I told you guys that if you would have filed your UCC, guess what? They couldn't have voluntary bankrupt until they paid you. They're not going to announce that they are doing a reorganization because that's exactly what they're doing. Everybody, even some of the states, EIN numbers have changed. And like I said, they start with the prefix of 39, which is Philadelphia. But now when you look, because they use spiritual things, whether y'all want to believe it or not, 9 is the beginning and 3 is the beginning and 9 is in 39. Y'all know they do everything in threes. This is a great time to be alive, guys. And if you want to take part in this and save your bloodline and save yourself and not have to go through another 99 years of thinking that you are in debt and that these bad actors are ruling you, this is the time to do it now. But you're going to have to put in the work. And I promise you, your foundation is absolutely, positively going to be needed during this time. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back and help y'all. We gonna come back and help y'all.
I can't see the comments. Can you see the comment? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sure you
somebody
can.
said social credit system has already started. It has.
Of course.
Lead me to the water.
They
You
was
got it
they
from
did the
there.
they did
That
the quantitative easing for like years that, influx the stock market, and I mean they did a lot of mirroring of certain things to make it look enticing, and then it's gonna come and fall. People gonna be trying to pull it out, people gonna get nervous, people gonna get scared. This is history repeating itself.
somebody said everything but the process talking in circles. Well, it sounds like circles because you don't understand. And more importantly, this is not a process. These are not processes. This is saving your life. This is understanding the role that you have been playing as administrator all of this time.
Now, you know
And
what's funny? I see how people look at me on live. I'm gonna stop going live 'cause they want. You know what? I've been having class on live. I know what they doing. You know what he doing, right? That's a guy, ain't it, or girl?
let me see.
They are trying to get you to head a class on live. They be getting
Yeah,
me. I be falling for it every time. I know what y'all be
but
up
I'm
to.
not, because at the end of the day, like I said, those are my people that are in here who have been putting in the work. I can call about 10 of them. They understand exactly what I'm saying. And see, that's y'all issue. Y'all always looking for a process, right? You're always looking for a process, and the beginning of the process is your foundation. I can't take what's in my brain and give it to you. I can't show you a piece of paper that looked the same, but a comma was different, and I immediately spot it. I can't you can't use my brain to look and see the EIN number has changed in its upper and lower case and what that means, or it's number 39 preface. Guess what? I have done the work now 15 and a half years. 15 long years. And processes like the PO process, the stamp endorsement process, the original black plate process, hit the pen at the top of my bio or at the top of my little reels, me. Looking at the SK, the 8K and the 10K form. I started telling people to do that in 2018. So a lot of these things that you guys are hearing people regurgitate and add a little bit to it, it started with me. Maybe I'll make a video and we'll go down memory lane. Because I have contributed so much to this movement, regardless to if people want to admit it or not. But there has been a lot of people that have been saved. A lot of people got foundation and they're moving properly. I'm not going to hold your hand. And this is not a 1, 2, 3 process. If you don't understand the importance of having a PO box and how it is major now, that when you get an EIN, you can put a PO box on there, or
I think
how
I think my better way of looking at this is saying, do anybody feel like changes are being made? And if you are staying the same, does that not make you feel like you're getting left behind, or does it not even matter? Some people it don't matter. Some people be like, and when 2008 market crash came, I wasn't affected. Some people don't even see what, when it comes down the pipeline. Some people don't even realize what's going on. They like the government shut down, but I still had to go to work. Some people don't even care. Some people don't even see. So that's why I said sometimes you may be talking to somebody that they ain't adhering to the information. Some people might be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Then it may not be for you right now.
that part.
I mean,
Drea
that's fine.
said, if the mortgage company sent a default letter, but you've been paying, does that mean the UCC work? Send it to me. You can DM it to me, Drea, and I'll tell you. Because, like I said, what they're doing is they're transferring all, especially with the mortgages. They have opened up a new entity with a new EIN number, okay? And they're now transferring the note over to a new entity, even though the new entity is them, because they're doing a reorganization. The world is going through a bankruptcy right now. You just don't know it yet. That's why that last post I put up, I said something's coming. It's coming. And I mean fast. And I care enough, despite of everything, I care enough to say, let me show you guys the changes, but it's up to you to do it. It's not about processes. It is about a way of living and how are you supposed to be conducting yourself in this world that we live in, where you are at the advantage, where you are doing your own banking, where you are in control of everything that you do without them telling you what to do and how to do it. I keep telling you guys, stop looking at the banks and the car people or whatever like, oh my God, they're taking from me. No, you gave it to them with the security interest. You said they can have it. But because you hired them to do your banking for you, they're stealing from you instead.
You know
So
what
how
I be
about
wanting to know? I be wanting to
mhm,
know, are they doing that because they truly understand the flaw in the contract, or are individuals doing it because they feel like I just don't want to pay this bill no more? Because there's different mindsets for individuals that want to learn something, and then there's mindset for individuals that say, "Oh, you could get me out of this. Show me how to get me out of this."
that's the
So it's like,
majority.
what do you do? What? Well,
That's the majority of the attitude. What you just said. Oh, you can get me out of this. Oh, it's fraud. Because that's what has been put to the forefront. Oh, they're stealing from me, this, that, and the other. And when you look at it, you gave it to them. And you know why you gave it to them? Because you had no clue you were giving it to them. So at the moment that you give it to them and you want to go take it back, how are you going to do that? It's by using the system that's in place. The same system that they use, we can use, right? But we're only able to use that system if we're in the system properly. That's from having a TDA account. Oh, I brought that back out years ago too. Making sure you got a TDA account so that your securities can be transferred and the whole 9 yards, right? So your goal now is, what is your role? You have hired these people to do a job for you. You have told them they can keep all your stuff. They ain't filing the taxes on it, and they lie saying that they paid you. You know why? Because you never spoke up and said that's not so, right? Freedom ain't asked for is filed and filed properly.
I
But
sure
in the same
said.
token, you have to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. More importantly, why you're doing it. You said when your granny passed away, the bank transferred 200 billion into her account overnight. I'm gonna check my DM. Who's that? Because that's what happens. You are using them as your custodian. Because guess what? You don't have nothing on file saying that they're not the custodian and the trustee. That account wasn't put into a trust account. Now, if Granny would have not had them as beneficiary, because most people, even with your bank accounts now, you guys don't realize that you let the bank be beneficiary. Oh, and the FDIC, yeah, yeah, they're out of there too. They're out of there too. They are really doing the Mandela effect and the switcheroo, and only those with eyes to see going to be able to see it. Those with ears to hear is going to be able to hear it, and stop looking for processes and looking for saviors. Like when I left during this time period, there are some people that went and they dug in, they took the information that had been dropped over the years and they got to work. Others, y'all looking for the next best thing that says sound like they talking the right thing instead of you doing what it is that you have to do to get there, right? So that when you do see a comma that ain't normally there and why they're sending you transfer paperwork and etc., you'll understand what it means. And I'm going to post it if long as you give me permission. Of course, honey, I'm gonna scratch your stuff out. I'm gonna point
But you
out some
know what?
things on that letter.
That I understand because my husband he say this all the time. You gotta meet people where they are too. You know, I'll look at it like this. If you woke up and you're like, dang, October the 1st, the government shut down. If you see that the government has the power to make decisions and don't even involve you, like what decision can you make for yourself that don't involve the government? That was something that for me, I had to like, when I mean by involving the government, when you have these certain controls, the controls meaning if you have a business that is registered with the state, you have a business license, you operate in that business. What if you don't own the business, you're operating the business, that's a form of different type of control, right? You have control, but you don't have ownership. I had to understand that. Now, when it comes to trust, knowing that the trust is not recorded or, registered in the state, the certificate may be used to add assets to the trust, but the trust is so powerful that it's not state permission. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So you get to keep this document long as you get it legally notarized and things like that. You get to have whoever you appoint control the activity of the document, and then you get to move your commodities, you get to move what's valuable to you in this document. And that if they say they wake up today or tomorrow and say, oh, you personally, we know that you own this, turn these things in because we know so and so, they calling you by name, they calling you by number, they calling you by social, they know you own these particular things. They're saying, oh, turn these things in, hand these things over, but you already gave up the ownership. They're not talking to you because you don't own those things. So I try to, I understand because some things I'm like, don't know really too. I'm gonna be honest. I always tell Tamika too, I'm a student in certain things that she speaks about. But when I also look at the underlining principle of why I wanted things out of my name or out of my family's name, like anything that passed through our family, because some people may be in a common, like you said, when my grandma passed away, when my so and so passed away, they decided to do this, and the third, and the family had no control, no say so. So even if you on this live and you listen and you tuning in and you're saying that from bare minimum, I got to do something that at least allow, I know for sure that the next generation is going to get this. No matter what's going on outside this world, I know that I took this, I moved it over here, and it's going to sit in this. And that even if my family was to operate this, it is controlled under the ownership of the trust. Please, somebody drop a heart in the chat just so I can know. I can't see it, but just so I
I'm gonna
can
tell you.
know that you can even understand the just the surface of why you want to build your foundation under your control. Build your foundation for your family under your privacy. Build the foundation, and the privacy will mean that whoever owned this house, whoever owned this bank account, whoever owned this land, it's ABC Trust.
That's
She
right.
asked you about the birth certificate. She asked you about the registered agent, and you guys said it was the county, it was the state. Now, if you give up the ownership, your birth certificate is not going to identify that you own something, right? The trust has its own certificate that will identify the trust owns these things.
That's right.
Hopefully, I'm just trying to break it down, simplicity. I like to call me ABC Mouse. I want to break it down so you can understand.
Wait a minute. Energy, you said the House of Names was forced to shut down? Wow. So remember I had you guys a while ago do the research on your last name because your last name is what's important. Like the Bible says, the last shall be first and the first shall be last. You will even see on Jesus Christ UCC where he made everybody a debtor. Is Christ Jesus, last name, first name. Um, but see things like that happen when we get to doing things and understanding what's happening. They will change it. Like I said, they've changed so much, and that's why I'm always going to be a student. I'm going to always learn something new because they're constantly changing things. But I'm going to make sure that as they change, I change. If they change a system, guess what? I'm going to know about that change in the system, right? Because I keep in the rabbit hole, always still down there, even when I'm off. I'm down there. So for you guys that were able to get your house of names, I sure got mine. Hold on. When I told y'all to get it, y'all know I don't tell y'all to do nothing that I don't personally do myself. And that was very important because your last name holds a lot of weight. Your wealth is tied to your last name. Hint to why on your passport is last name, first name. Because your last name is tied to your wealth. And I'm sorry, I didn't know that I haven't been on there, so I didn't know. I'm gonna definitely check it out. But I do have another website as well. You definitely want your family crest because on your trust, you should have your family crest on there as well. Remember I told y'all that? Hey y'all, family crest, you get the flag and everything else that's related to y'all last name. So when I tell y'all that I told y'all to get it, I have mine. And mine is in the gold, sitting up there nice and proud with my last name, with my family crest, and etc. Like I said, I don't be telling y'all to do stuff just to be telling y'all. I don't even like talking to people like that. And I'm definitely not going to waste y'all time. Everything is for a reason. But I do feel like if you're here at this time, that this is where you're supposed to be. But right now it's crunch time. And y'all just watch the market. Did y'all notice that Swift is testing out XRP? They're testing out different systems to see who's going to run fastest. We already know it's going to be XRP, right? We know that. But if you know the value in Swift, Swift is how you do the international transfers and etc. Right? Swift is used if you went to your physical bank and you were able to have them transfer your statement, your dividend over to your TDA account. They use the Swift system.
What is it,
Swift
baby?
is how they do all of
My
their
man, he over
money-to-money
here talking in the
transactions.
background. Uh, Paz, he over here talking in the background. He talking about. I said, "What was it? What did you say? What is a processing? Who? What? What is it? Swift? He's so
See,
smart.
see, he in the money thing, so he knew. I know that.
He talking about you. You know about XRP and the Swift money system, and that's how they're gonna be. I said, "Child, what you
That's how
over here
they go.
saying?"
I know that's right, Mr. Lockwood.
He's so smart. You know, I don't know nothing about. Listen, baby,
Which is why I told y'all get in that XRP, but
I don't know nothing
learn
about no
the
damn.
systems. But yeah, Swift. And if y'all go look up and see what Swift just did, you'll understand why I said what I said. But it's the greatest time to be alive, y'all. Get yourself in position, get your trust done, get it uploaded to where it needs to be. Now, before when I told you guys about, filling out your 2848, your 56, and that's for your trust. It's not you putting your all capital name as taxpayer. It is for you to put your trust there, and then you are the representative, right? The same way when you get your P.O. box. The P.O. box is in the name of the trust. You are just the signer, okay? And with the IRS uploading the proper documents, remember before I told you guys, take it in. I don't really like fax, but take it in. But now they have it set up where you can upload all of these items directly through your ID.me portal. And if I was you guys, when you get off, I will go under ID.me and just watch all the new videos that they just dropped. They're absolutely positively telling you how to utilize their system and being able to do your 1099. Now, this is not financial advice. Yes, I did take the test, but I'm not certified yet as a enrolled agent. This is just based off of me reading and doing my own thing, okay? I'm not an attorney. I ain't an accountant. I ain't a CPA. I ain't none of that. I'm just a little educated, okay? You can actually file every last one of those things up under your ID.me. So unlike with 1099online.com, for you guys who have used it, you had to wait 7 to 10 days for them to say, oh, the IRS accepted it, blah, 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 right? But you can do it yourself directly through them without having to go to a third party. The goal in this next season is to move the third party, fire them. Y'all remember when on the little fire thing, fire their ass, right? Fire them. But in order for you to fire them, you're going to have to know how to operate properly with the things that have already been given to us. And there's your wealth. Just as simple as that. And you got to be in position. And you can't do
Depending
nothing
on
without a
state
trust.
requirements, I almost say, remember I talked about the out of state document will require a addendum. So you do want to pay attention to what is required and what is not necessary. I think that's a better way to cover yourself when it comes to Xing out the third party. That's what I was referring to. Excuse me.
But see, even with that, for people who have outside of your, I do know some people got their Foreign Express trust registered in like South Dakota, but your actual trust that you are living out of, that all of your assets that's in your everyday, it has to be registered in your state. Why? Because when you move to that state, so for me, and y'all have heard me say this before, I'm originally from Michigan. Michigan is the one who started my trust, right? The county clerk is the one who started my trust. But when I moved to North Carolina, guess where my trust transferred? To North Carolina. How do they know when you move? That's why they say within 30 days, get a new driver's license, etc., because everything is through the state system, right? But then when I moved to Texas, Texas has my trust now, right? So why would I want to be on file in New York? And all of my stuff is in Texas. So whatever state you are in, it is wise, just based off of what I know, is to have that trust registered in the state that you're doing business in. For example, we're going to use Stripe. Now, Stripe headquarters is in California, right? In order for Stripe to do business with people in Texas, they had to register in Texas. So in Texas, Stripe is listed up under the banking regulation because they cannot do business here with anyone unless they are approved to do so by registering
Like a
themselves.
foreign entity certificate. Is this a foreign
Absolutely.
entity? Mm-hmm.
Because that's exactly what they got it registered under, as a foreign entity.
Oh, you
Okay,
got
y'all?
something. You got something to eat and ain't give me nothing to eat?
So yeah, y'all. I just wanted to come on. I know I have not talked to y'all in about 8 months. I know y'all like, she's gone. She's never coming back. I don't know why y'all would think that. I'm always stand 10 toes down. But I am human. Okay. I do need breaks. And like I told you guys, anytime things happen to kind of throw me off is because I need to sit back and I need to be still. So I'm very grateful for everything that has happened in the year 2025, good and bad, the love and hate. I absolutely appreciate it because you know what that did? That gave me the time to sit back. One, refill my cup, and then when I was ready to come back, to make sure that I understand the new system that is now here, that the Republic
And you
is
move
back.
different, and you move different by creating a new policy, a new system, a way that
Correct.
you move different. You know, it's unfortunately, it was ugly to see. I'm like, it was ugly, but I think you handle it really well. Really well considering, how I guess you could say how intentional it was to
Hmm.
get a reaction. I think you handled it pretty well. I think that other people was confused and trying to figure out, sides and stuff like that. But I think like when you are in business, and this is something I have to remind myself, when you are in business and you can't take it personal, you have to move in a way that it's the integrity of your brand or business. Because somebody that don't have anything to lose, or anyone, this is for anyone, because I had to move and reshape things just from even p- irate irate individuals that don't feel like they get their way with customers and stuff like that. I create a policy around that situation.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, and I hope that like this season, it's no time for distractions. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Nope.
just none. It is no time for distractions. And if you and I'll say this to anyone that's like, I'm new, I'm watching this live for the first time. If you have anybody that is close to you and your family, your peer, co-worker that and they got a chance to see and experience firsthand the recession, or 2008 market crash, I'll just say sit and have a conversation and pick their brain and figure out what caused them to lose everything.
Yep.
What did they not have in place? What were they not paying attention to? What should they have done differently if they could do
Yep.
it all over again? You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes we size up the messenger. We like, what are they talking about? Who is these people? Yada yada, woo woo. But I always tell people, go on the path that you are in and access the information that you have access to, and start being inquisitive. Sometimes when you be inquisitive, it just takes it to a whole nother level, because you're learning based on either real field and like you're really in the field, or you're getting that firsthand experience or knowledge from someone that went through it. You can get that better than the textbook.
That part. And y'all know my philosophy. I don't show y'all nothing that I haven't done myself, because who does that? And I think I've proven that to my collective. I'm not into proving nothing no more. You either gonna take it, run with it, or just, suffer, unfortunately. But this is, man, it's a great time to be alive, y'all. That's all I can say. This is a great time to be alive. It
Well,
absolutely is.
welcome back. You
Thank you,
know,
darling. And thank you for always checking on me, making sure I'm good. For the few of y'all who have, some of my A1 day ones, y'all know who y'all are, whether it was a simple message. I have not been on Instagram. So if y'all have DM'd me or something, don't think that I was ignoring you. I haven't. When I say I unplugged,
they was DMing me. I'm like, child, that lady got her own business. What I got to do? I don't even
that part.
own nothing.
I unplugged, and it was so amazing just to be T Mika and mom. It was amazing, guys. Because I do have a family, I do have children, and I always felt the need to at least respond to y'all if when I can, never through DM, but be in the comments with you guys and trying to answer things and dropping posts and things like that. I always felt obligated to have to do that, and that's a lot for one person. It's a lot to have the whole world thinking about you, and trying to get to you. So I absolutely enjoyed my time off. But I am back with a vengeance. I'm not here for no mess. I'm not here for somebody say I don't care. If they said it and you believe them, that's between you and you. It has nothing to do with me. And nobody will ever run me away. I leave when I get ready, right? But I learned a lot from that situation, and I also looked at how can I make it better for anybody that is listening, because it is a lot and we are running out of time. So I'm like, what can I do to make it better where I can still provide you guys with what you need without giving 100% of me all the time, where I'm depleted and I got to take months to replenish myself. You guys don't really understand how much energy this takes. And in the process of giving out energy, I have to make sure, okay, well, they changed this, so now I need to tell them this, or this is changed and this, that, and the other. Um, but I'm very honored. I appreciate y'all that stayed. If you here, even I know some people on this line that probably really don't like me. And guess what? I don't care. I'm not here for you to like me. What I want you to like is yourself. What I want you to like is your trust. And I want you to put trust within yourself that you can get this information, utilize this information, and then change the next person's life. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, it's not. I'm not back to hold anybody's hand. I promise you I'm not at all. I'm going to provide what is needed, but I did take the lessons that needed to be learned, good and bad, over the last 15 years, like things that I can do to make it easier for people to understand. Like I did hear you guys' concerns and etc. So I am making sure this time that you're not going to have an excuse, because it's going to be right there for you. I do understand after you listen to a person talk for 15 minutes, you off in la la land anyway, right? So I'm going to make sure that the way everything is in place, it will help you, and you won't need me. You don't need to look for a savior. The only
And
savior.
another thing, I'm sorry,
Oh
my
yeah,
brain, my brain goes too fast. I'm sorry. And another thing, I think people have to understand too that we are two separate entities. And a lot of you guys were like, tell this person this, and where is this person? When is she coming back? Please know that we are two different entities. That's why a lot of individuals are not in our private community, because they came over to our private community asking about or telling what they did in this community over in our community. So I think that yes, it's always good if you could partner up with someone, but know that these are two separate entities. Just out of respect, because I wouldn't want none of my trustees or none of my C's coming into Path to Freedom's community, being disrespectful, saying Layla say this and Layla don't say this. All right. So we gotta be mindful and be respectful.
absolutely, absolutely. And those that I've brought, like Layla, um, Skyton Academy, when I tell you I brought, they just fit in the puzzle. But Layla's trust, all things trust, all things turn yourself into business, that is her. I don't step on them toes, right? And she's deeper into trust than I am. I just knew the power of it. I knew that I needed one, and I learned a lot from her, as I told you guys on me in her first phone call, because, I don't refer you guys to nobody that I have not utilized myself. So before I said, hey, you can use her for this, I had to do it first. It was the best 2-hour phone call of my life in a long time. She actually poured into me, and I wasn't drained when I got off. I know that everything is going digital. I know where to put my money, but the ins and out of how this digital system is about to work, that wasn't my expertise. So guess what I did? I went and sought out people that I had watched for months. They didn't even know that I was just watching them and learning from them, and thought that they can come in to help the community. The thing is not trying to get over on the system. It's about joining the system in your capacity so that you win. If we are the creditors, we are the creditors. Point blank, period. So operate. And if you don't like that the bank is taking your money, or the bank, like she said, they ain't letting you in until 9 o'clock and this, that, and the other, guess what you can do? That's what you can do. You gotta do it yourself, because the ID.me is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365, outside of the update that they just did last week. Oh, because they did an update. And even when you go to look at the EIN application, it's some extra stuff added there too. Talks about beneficiary and other things. This is another reason why I told you guys I like physical books. I like physical paper, right? Because I know what all the other old EIN numbers is, because I have it, I can look and say, wait a minute, they didn't change their EIN number. Or wait a minute, they used to be on Market Avenue, their principal offices, now they on Tyler Street. I
We're
can be able
gonna,
to
yeah,
see
we're
those
gonna be
type
getting, and
things.
it's the Federal Reserve here in Charlotte too. I should pull up. It's a Federal Reserve building here. I'm like, that ain't no damn thing.
Want to pull up? Look, we got one here too. Maybe we'll make it a day, ain't gonna lie.
With the Federal Reserve.
At the Federal Reserve, because we
Mhm.
definitely
It's one in
got one.
Virginia. It's one in Virginia, North Carolina. I don't know. I know my cousin's smarter than me. Tell me where the other one's at. Texas. Where else? Somewhere else.
Georgia.
Georgia Federal Reserve Bank.
The Secretary of State remove where you can transfer your business to a trust. You have to write them first. What?
That's not
Where you can?
true.
No, that's definitely not true. Where you have? Yeah, that's definitely not true. Because the first thing you want to do is update it with the IRS. You want to change who is the owner, and then once that's done, then that's when you put everything else on the record.
No, that's not true because I just helped the person. Did they say Georgia?
Yes.
That's not true. They probably didn't fill out the proper form. See, you're saying changing your entity is that's not the proper terminology. I just literally helped somebody, one of my clients this week. Literally.
There y'all go.
They're trying to change the registered agent. That's not how they do that because a registered agent has to be an entity registered with the state. So they're doing it incorrect. I don't even have to know if that was a process, but it sounds like that's what you're doing, and that's not the proper term.
See? That's the goat right there on that, baby. You've been reading the IRS circulars, like I said. I love that I am assets because let me tell you, them circulars tell you exactly how to fill out everything, how it should be done, and etc. Um, yeah, yeah. It's like if you are trying to recoup and you're putting beneficiary at the last of your name, how are you the trustee? You can't be both. And for
Mm.
those, I will tell you guys too that if you ever got an E-State EIN number in this state, not an irrevocable trust, not a revocable trust, I'm talking about an estate EIN number, they're starting to mark you guys dead in the Social Security system because the state means dead. So I'm telling y'all that now. If y'all filed anything according to an estate, got an estate
I can help
EIN
them with
number,
that. We could help them so they can go ahead and close like that was like they could put it in the system as an error. You have to write them a letter. I'll do that. I'll actually show them how to do that in the webinar
okay. So there y'all
because
go.
that is something that you don't want, especially someone that works for the government, someone that you know, you don't want to. That's, if it's an error, you want to make that clear on paper.
Absolutely. And then if for some reason that you are locked out of ID.me, I seen somebody ask, what are you supposed to do? You are going to have to go down physically to an IRS building and verify who you are. But I'm telling you, the next season, you're not going to be able to operate in the proper capacity as your own trustee and fiduciary and private banker without having access to ID.me. Like I said, if y'all go in there and read it, it said everyone. And see, and this is how I know the FDIC is closed. So I'm helping somebody with a case. Like I said, I still was doing, but they was close to me, right? And it's a federal case. Went down and got the paperwork, and I'm reading the discovery. And in the discovery, because this was a financial crime, okay, and I'll use Bank of America as the example. It says Bank of America was a part of the FDIC. We know was mean past tense, and we all know that every word in a sentence or statement has a meaning and it's there for a reason. And because of this case, there was about 5 or 6 different banks that they listed, and they all said was a part of the FDIC, which means the FDIC is closed because we all know that that was a bank as well, and everything has been dissolved. When I put up that post about Kennedy, and when Kennedy stood on the Senate floor and said, we have given all of your stuff back to your state, Now, think about earlier when we talked about that if the state, the county is your registered agent, that's where it will go. That's where it'll go. So that's why I kept saying the county got your money. Y'all thought I was playing because they're your registered agent until you get on the record that you are the administrator. And you can only do that by having your stuff filed properly. You got to take a stance for who you are. Like I said, freedom is not asked for, it is filed. If you don't hear nothing else I say, freedom is not asked for, it is filed. File the proper documentation. Have it on the record properly. Go sit and read them IRS circulars or whatever other circular that you need. The quickest way to learn the IRS system is doing what I did. Now, did it take me months to get through that? It did. But that enroll agent, because when you are an enrolled agent, you have the legal right to represent people in front of the IRS, businesses. Now, remember, you're a business, okay? I haven't decided if I was going to actually take the test, but studying for it opened my eyes up to an awful lot. It showed that a lot of the things that we have done, yes, while it has worked, that wasn't the end result. Um, Somebody just asked about recording national status. Is it the same? No. What's different is they're not giving out any FOIA papers any longer, from what I was told. I got mine back in 2021. Um, but that's where your certificate comes in, which I talked about in the fourth quarter takeover, right? You're having to do it that way. Now, I am waiting to see, because we're back up under, the Republic. I have went and redid the application for my passport because I need to see if it's going to be different. But instead of me, like I told y'all, do your FOIA paper, get it authenticated. If you have it, that's great. Still get it authenticated. If you're trying to get one now, you may not be able to get it. But what I did instead of this time attaching my FOIA, which I do have, I did a declaration of nationality on there. So what I want to see, they accepted everything. I'm just waiting on it. I want to see if there's going to be any differences. Because just like with your driver's license and ID look the same. They just put a star on it, which made it different because there's a new system in place. If you're in Texas, I don't know if they've done this in other states. When you go get a car, they used to give you a paper plate. If you're in Texas, they're not giving out paper plates any longer. They're giving you out a temporary metal plate. Why? Because the secretary, the DMV, has been dissolved. They are new. Now, their names outside may stay the same. Mandela effect. Or they may do something like Chick-fil-A did and took the A away. Because if you're as old as I am, you remember that Chick-fil-A,
Child, you
it had
think
the K in
oh,
there.
man.
Okay? It had the K in there. And then they took it off because why? They dissolved, even though it doesn't look like they're
Yeah,
dead.
businesses do it all the time. I mean, some businesses they dissolve. That's how they can dissolve it, file bankruptcy on it, start a new entity. Some people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they
and we
all
would
of them
never
filing.
know.
All of them filing that voluntary chapter 11 reorganization is what they're
Mhm.
doing, and that's going to eliminate them from having to pay their debts. But technically, they owe the debts to the creditor, and who is the creditor? That's you and me. That's who the creditor is, and they're about to get away with not having to do so. But is there something you can do? Absolutely. Am I going to show you what you do? Absolutely. And then moving forward, you'll know how to properly utilize the system, and you won't be going back and forth with the bad actors of the world. Um, and that's just as simple as that. You turn your Star ID back in. I know that's right. Because that's putting you back up under the state. Like I said, if you're a CDL driver on here, go look it up. You no longer need a motor carrier number. And when you know what motor carrier means, you'll understand why now they are giving totally back to the government agency, which is what? The Department of Transportation. Okay. And then just native, I forgot what to
Hey, y'all
record.
see
You
my
got
time?
the changes things they say, but I think you can change it with ID update. Just pass mine. You can change anything with ID update. Just tell them if it's your passport. Just tell them that that you misplaced it, so you ain't got to turn one old one in. So that way you can see if there's any differences and things like that. But like I said, even with the courts there in upper and lower case, they even Wells Fargo. If you go pull Wells Fargo most recent Security Exchange filing, you're going to see Wells Fargo in upper and lowercase. You're going to see that they changed their principal office to another location because they have to put in a change form. So they've changed everything. They even call the notes callable notes now. And with a callable note, they're doing that so that they can call all these notes due right now because before you had a timeline. So we'll just use a car contract. Car contract didn't get full maturity until 9 months. Okay, they had to wait till 9 months to get the full maturity of that bond because we know it was turned into a bond, right? Well, with a callable note, they can call them all on the 15th, right? They can now do that. They're going to do that to crash the system. They're going to say all the notes is callable. All of the notes are due. And they're not going to have enough. And they'll be like, oh, we had to file bankruptcy. But because of Obama and the Dodd-Frank Act, go look it up. They're going to do a bail-in. Also, if you take the time to go read the Dodd-Frank Act, after the bailout of 2008, one of the stipulations for the bail-in, and for you still doing business with these agents, these banks, that you are willing to put your money into their bank without any interest or stock. You can say, okay, I don't want no interest, but give me my stock. So y'all remember 2 years ago, a year ago, I told you guys that we are investors in every company that we sign with. Well, the Dodd-Frank Act just told you that you either gonna put your money in there and not get nothing, or you can go ahead and get stock within the company. So when I kept saying Meta is selling all our stock in the banks, they're selling your stuff because they absolutely positively is. There are some new definitions on the IRS EIN website. If I was you and the word is blue, I would click it. Read what it means. Okay? Read what it means. So yeah, y'all. But besides that, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate y'all, but we got work to do because we don't have much time. So if you're coming with the right energy, with the right headspace, and you're really trying to sell yourself, come on. If you're coming with the drama that he says, she said, just don't even come. I promise you. If you leave me with 10 people, I'm okay with 10 people. And I am so serious about that. So, like I said, I will drop the link. Me and Layla will get together. It will be next week. We'll set the date and the time down because I don't want to mess with nobody football or nothing. Y'all can watch the football, the Eagles and everybody. And like I said, it will be a free seminar. It will be capped at a certain number. I have not figured out
Yes.
that number yet. But if it's capped for you to actually be able to join on the actual platform, and you don't have to download any apps or anything, we will have it streaming on YouTube. It's going to be streaming on Layla's page. That means all y'all going over there to Layla's page, hit subscribe and notifications because
Wait.
it will be streamed over there. Just in case you miss one of the seats, because I am going to cap it. I'm not going to make it unlimited, and
Wait,
it's
yo,
going
I'm
to be
gonna be going to
free.
YouTube.
Yes, come with your open mind, come with your foundation, and let's change the trajectory of your bloodline. The next 99 years on your bloodline is on you. So what you
Yeah,
gonna do?
that part.
What are you? Because the system is done. They've been redoing the system since 2019. They just now showing things that we are now just seeing. But when I promise you,
And you
I
know
had
what's so
someone.
interesting? That's what the banker said too. The banker was like, "Oh, that was that before 2020? Yeah, their policy has changed since." So when some people are like, "Hey, I'm trying to take this trust over to this credit union," and they're like, ask if their policy changed, or even just let them, give you something in writing. That was like the first thing was like show something in writing. You can still advocate for yourself, but just be mindful. Things change, y'all. Things change, so you got to be able to adapt with change.
That's right. You can't stay the same. If someone can get their FOIA, you can get your certificate of citizenship status, which I think is the best thing to do anyway, is to get that. because I've been told, I don't know, I haven't tried it. I have a need to try it, but I've had several people come to me and say they're not doing the FOIAs any longer. You know, that's their goal, to always change something when we get onto something. But once you absolutely positively understand how the system works, it's not going to be that they're changing. They can't change, but you will. And once you
Mhm.
do, and you are the captain of your ship, and you are your own trustee and your own fiduciary, and properly know how to utilize the system, because all of the back actors are just acting, and their old has went down. So, but yeah, and even any of your companies, go and look and see if their security exchange are filing. So when you do, just put their name in and put up all of their filings, and you will see if they have what's called a change report. Pull the change report, and it's going to tell you exactly what they changed. That's why I can tell you Wells Fargo is in upper and lowercase. I can tell you that they moved their principal office to another location. They even changed their phone number. Now, our number that we dial is the same, right? That the regular people dial, but as far as corporate wise, they have changed all of that, because they're going to come back as a new entity. And I can promise you, the outside of their building is not going to change. That's that Mandela. That's that switch. That's that, like, even though on the records, because that's what matter. I can have a business that's Path to Freedom, but outside on my actual building, if I had one, it could say 123. It don't stop the fact that I'm still Path to Freedom and I'm running under Path to Freedom when it comes to the paperwork and the registrations with the federal and the state,
I
right?
mean,
And
yeah,
that's
that's some
exactly
people
what
do
they're
it all the
doing.
time. They'll do like, they'll have an entity, but they can hire a managing company. So you thinking you doing business with one entity, and the whole time you're going to be doing business with the management company. So people do it all the time.
There you go.
I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I gotta get ready to go.
Absolutely. Like, well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Call me tomorrow. We'll get
Yes,
the date set in stone,
indeed.
and I'll drop the
Mhm.
link tomorrow for everyone to join us this weekend to get in depth. We just want to give y'all, just to let you guys know that there are changes, and what we're going to plan on doing. We're trying to help the collective to be able to understand those changes. And so that's what the free webinar is for. But thank you so much, Layla. I appreciate you.
You're very welcome. Peace, y'all.
Peace. So yeah, y'all, yeah, change report. You'll see us say change report. Two credit unions say they don't do trust bank account, because credit unions, that your account is owned by the owner. But at this day and age, I would not have an account with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. I wouldn't. Right? Please go look up Bellion. If y'all don't do nothing, go look up what a Bellion is, and then go pull the Dodd-Frank Act that flat out said that you're gonna lose everything. You're gonna lose it. And even when it comes to the FDI insurance that is on the account, you forgot that you gave that authority to the bank. They did it in 2008. That bailout was supposed to go to the the creditors, right? It was supposed to go to the people. But because the bank was still their custodian, and you are utilizing the bank to do security transfer transactions for you through the market, getting Q-subs, and they're really supposed to be paying you, right? Like, if you've ever done a 1099A or a 1099B successfully, okay, successfully, once you get them to audit and you get the 1099B back, you will see at the top it'll say pay, and then it'll say recipient. And the bank name is going to be a payer, because now they're saying that they paid you, and your name is going to be the recipient. This is why they always say we owe taxes, when it's to be flipped around. But when you absolutely do that right, and you get the updated copy that came after their audit, you will see that they switch roles with you. Back to the movie I used to talk about, Switching Places with Eddie Murphy. Go watch it. Go watch it, because that's exactly what it is that they did, until you correct it. And how you correct it is by being on the record properly at all of the entities, whether it's the state, whether it's the IRS. Actually, it's both. And then you learn how to do your own banking direct, because if the IRS is the administrative people for the Treasury. If you're doing it directly through them, and I mean, when I say directly through them, everything is being done through them. You're not going to need a third party. You ain't going to need a TurboTax. You ain't going to need a tax. Everything is done through them, and it updates immediately. This is how we can hold these people accountable moving forward when it comes to your securities and your contracts and how things are being signed and etc. Especially because everything is going digital now. Everything is going digital now. If you can't get an ID, I.me get it. And if you don't have an ID.me, you have two ways to verify yourself. If you got a regular driver's license, I'm telling you now, they're going to do a video call with you. And yes, you will have an IRS rep look at you on the screen, verifying that you are who you are. Normally, if it's just your regular ID now, they're doing the face-to-face, but you have an option to upload your ID and be certified from there, or they'll do a face-to-face with you, so via Zoom or however the little phone thing is. So that they can verify that it's you. That means that if you log into that account and give Bank of America access, you can't say you didn't give them the access, right? So there is an absolute way to utilize their entire system for everything. Never happen to use a third party. And now that is the definition of true private banking. That right there. So yeah, y'all, I'm back. She back. I'm T. I'm me. I'm here. I did kind of miss y'all just a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I enjoyed my time off, y'all. I was in here cold, chilling, like, getting my life together, you know, pouring into me, pouring into my children. But I wouldn't be me and have information that can help. And, you know, just leave. Y'all know I'm a Virgo. You talk to me today, you may not talk to me for 6 months. If you know, you know. But for y'all that was still on the path, congratulations. For y'all that got the foundation, congratulations. For y'all looking for a savior, do me a favor. If you're looking for a savior, because I ain't even it. I just read and pass on information. I ain't no expert. I'm not no guru. I'm Timika, and I read a lot and I know a lot. That's just it. I'm here to help. I'm down here in this flesh suit to help y'all, right? But if you're looking for a savior, do me a favor. Find the closest mirror to you and look in it. And baby, the savior is you. When I hang up, because I know y'all think I'm playing about Jesus Christ having a UCC lean, they didn't lie. They said that Jesus Christ will save you. What he did, because that nigga leaned everybody. Every country is got a D next to their name. D means debtor, okay? And the assigner is the Federal Reserve of New York, the United Nations, and God. Yes, the UCC says God. The first original UCC that was done, if you pull them both, is when with King James. Now you see why they only give you the King James version of the Bible. Babe, when I tell you this shit deep, and it's like, wow, yeah, Jesus got a UCC. But he saved, so he did save us. Not saying your damn self. You pulled it up, he sure did. See that? I see sugar free. Let me pay you. I told y'all, I'm not. Y'all know I'm the queen of this. I don't care what nobody say. What? They wish they could be me. The fuck? I am me, and I'm back, and I'm charged the fuck up, and we ain't got much time. So y'all get on the good foot. Because let me tell y'all what they doing. That's why they brought out the word whoop-de-doo back, right? Now, us that was born in the 80s, we already know about the word whoop-de-doo. But they are conditioning your brain right now. So when they take off with all your money, it's going to be like a whoop-de-doo. They're going to be like, whoop-de-doo. Yeah, you. And I told y'all, I've been telling y'all, I'm going to go find a video that I did years ago. And I told y'all, I said, the bank is gone. When they fail, that's going to be the day that they tell you that you was really an investor in the bank. And then when you're like, that was fraud, they're going to be like, well, the Dodd-Frank Act said that you either can get no money or you can get stock. You never told me I could get the stock, and you abandoned it. So because you abandoned it, the IRS said I can have it. Y'all see what they about to do? That's exactly how it's about to be. Whoop-de-damn-do. All the money is gone. They're probably going to blame it on Russia. Oh, the system went out. I'm trying to tell you, they're going to blame it on somebody, right? They're not going to flat out tell you that they're doing a reorganization of a bankruptcy. If you don't know what it means, go look it up. They are due because you got voluntary and involuntary, right? I told y'all about this months ago. It flew over y'all head. Y'all ain't do nothing about it, so I'm going to keep moving. They are doing a voluntary reorganization because they owe everybody. And when I say everybody, I'm talking about you, me, your mama, your daddy, your brother, your sister. They don't want to pay you. So what they're going to do is they're going to sell your debt to another one of their companies. That's their company. Then they're going to file bankruptcy on this shit. Then they're going to tell you, oh, we're sorry, we lost all your money. Here's $1,000. They're going to create a problem and call themselves fixing it to get you back started, right? Knowing they still making money on top of your money. That's when you're going to find out that you have been an investor this whole fucking time. That you either could have got no money or you could have got stock within the company. And then if you file your taxes properly, every deposit that you put into that bank, if you file properly, you're supposed to get back plus the interest. So yeah. You lean your accounts good. Did you lean them? UCC, make sure that y'all, if y'all leaning accounts and everything is in trust, that means that you were supposed to hit and turn in a UCC1 addendum. And if you ain't turned in a UCC1 addendum and only did the one UCC1, it ain't right. Because every account is held in trust. Now, God gave us the authority that we are the lender and not the borrower, which is why I said when you do your trust and you do your bylaws, that you use the Bible. And now that we know Jesus, then lean King James and God and the Federal Reserve Bank and the United Nations were the assigners. They were the assigners. And every country you're going to see got a D by it. D means debt. So yeah, y'all. But I'm going to throw a little something out for y'all. Y'all keep talking about tax class. If y'all was in fourth quarter takeover, the beginning of the tax class was you doing all of those steps I told y'all to do. Why y'all think I never came out with the tax class? Y'all ain't even did that. That's the first part. You can't do nothing with properly being fiduciary over your trust, okay? Until you got the first step done. Now they've made it mandatory. That's their rule, not mine. It started October the 1st. And when I prop up my receipts, I'm gonna show y'all the dates for when I was looking, when I got this with the EI. You're going to see it. You're gonna see the changes that are made within them, and you either gonna catch it or you don't. Don't let your eyes deceive you. Look at it good. Print it out. Put it side by side. Okay, like what's the difference? Is this capital? This all capital? Wait a minute. And this is upper and lowercase cap. Oh shit. That mean different. Now let me go pull that EIN number. Oh wow. And if you got a mortgage, they're about to do a transfer. But if you read the transfer paper that they're going to send to you, they told you what to do. They told you that you can do, if you don't agree with this, you can do a qualified written request. What's that? That goes back to RESPA. I got a whole free mortgage video on YouTube that talked about RESPA. They tell you in your face the things that you can do, but you're not even going to notice that it's a comma missing. So you're going to think it's the same company. Like, oh, I ain't got to do nothing with this. Yes, you do. They eat to show you how much is a new company and that they bank accounts and stuff have to close. Now, it's the same name. It's only a comma missing, literally one comma. It's the only difference. They got a new address, but they say if you are on auto pay, that you're going to have to re-sign up for it because they can't transfer the auto pay account. Why is that? Because if somebody buy public storage and public stores sell them, they're going to transfer everything over there, including the auto payment. It's all new. And you really got 60 days to challenge that shit. And it tells you that on there. Yeah, y'all, open your eyes up. They doing some shit, but it's a great time to be alive. Tap into who you are and the power that you have, because every last one of us got it. Do the work. This is a do the work season. This is you gotta have some foundation season. Because y'all best fucking believe I have been enjoying me. I did not. I'm like shit. Everybody else say they got it. So shit, I guess everybody hey, y'all been winning. Drop some money. What y'all been winning? Somebody want to give me a testimony? What y'all done did since I've been gone? Yeah. For example, Rocket LLC and Rocket LLC is two different companies, especially when you use the difference in public record file. Bingo. Sorry, y'all. Yes, they two different companies, and that's how they gonna play you. I'm telling you, that girl. She sent me the paper, and she noticed that she one of my like. I gave her props. I know you won't hear you the fucking shit because she sent it and she said, "Auntie, this is different," and she pointed out. She pointed it out. But when I tell you that she ain't been online and she been in them books and she been doing stuff, she one of the ones that personally can call me. And she had, but she was not calling me to take from me. She calling me, look, Auntie, I did this. And Auntie, look at this. They changed this. So when she showed me that, that's when they got me eyeing the whole paper. I said, girl, you see at the top, they told you that if you don't agree with this, you could do a written qualified request. They made sure they took out rest because if you do a RESPA on their ass and they can't answer no questions, they got to turn that house over. They literally told you and told you where to send it at. So now me and her going back and forth on all the things that they changed on that paper. Why? Because she noticed one comma. She noticed one comma. Young guy I'm helping with the court case told him get your trust because, like back then, I came out with the 10-cent stamp on your court case, the certified copy. For y'all that don't know, yeah, that was me. I came out with that. I'm gonna do a throwback. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a throwback. So yeah, be ever first case just with that. A couple people didn't beat some cases with that little system thing right there. But now that we ain't involved, and I'm like, look, we just cutting this shit off. You need a trust. So I told them to get their EIN number. As soon as she uploaded me the paper, I said, wait a fucking minute. I say, wait a minute. Do I see upper and lower? I done got up out my bed, y'all, and went in my office. I say, now I know for a fact that it has always been all capital letters. Always been capital letters. Then I look and I'm like, wait a minute, what else have they changed on this sheet? Then I seen the prefix is 39. I went straight to the internet. 39 mean what with the IRS? I wanted to know what state. Philadelphia. I'm like, oh fuck, that's where the international side of the United States and the original. I say, fuck, we back under the Republic. I said, oh, he didn't dispatch the National Guards. Are we in there like swimwear? I'm dancing because I know what it means. And fuck y'all, not the next 99 years. They will not be sitting at the dinner table 30 years like that goddamn Tamika is because of her. And she was following some damn Pastor Freedom and she tried to tell her. And then now your kids going to be mad at your ass forever. Won't be mine. You got to check from the Treasury from the 8822B that I did for Equifax. It has Equifax name, then trust name under it. I can't cash it. See, look, there you go. Hold on. Pin in your comment. If you don't mind, can you send me that? You want to come up? Y'all see what I just pinned? If you can come, if you want to come up, go ahead and request it and I'll let you up. So he was in fourth quarter takeover when I told all of y'all to change the responsible parties of these corporations and custodians that you didn't assign via the 8822B form, and put yourself there so you can get all of the mail from the IRS to see that they stop paying y'all taxes in 2020, and that's why people are owing taxes right now. And so he changed the address, which means any checks or any money that was coming according to his account, it ended up going to him because he did what I told him to do. And evidently he got a check. Let me see if he requested y'all. What's up, Ebony? Girl, I ain't talking to you. No, you good, but I ain't talking to you. I ain't talking to you. Tell the baby I said hey, though. You can tell the baby I said hey. I'm going to still talk to the baby. Uh, what's the name again? Nursing Melody. But yeah, y'all. We back onto the and oh, speaking of Ebony, you made me good. I'm happy I seen your name because you made me think of Florida. Um, you made me think of Florida. Actually, Melody. Why y'all think that Trump is putting the presidential library next to Freedom Tower? Do y'all know what Freedom Tower is? Do y'all know the significant role that Miami-Dade played into the movement and how it was all Indians? And I thank Ebony for telling me that shit months ago when she was doing her homework on her bloodline. Yeah, it's a reason that is there. They telling you. I did invite you up if you can come up, but yeah, they trying to tell you. They putting it so much in y'all face. They had Shamar, ain't that his name? Shamar, the one that like is a little crooked with his body. He got like some bone issue, and I ain't being funny. But he was on some podcast, one of my people sent me, and people were laughing at him, where he said, I'm not from the United States. I was born in Atlanta. Well, he ain't lying. And everybody laughing at him like, oh, he's stupid. No, he ain't. And you know they use entertainment to give you the answers, right? They use that. So they basically told y'all. And if you look at the GPO style manual, it'll tell you that I'm a Michiganian. It'll tell you. And you utilizing that in the GPO manual within your declaration of nationality when it comes to your passport, it will put you in the right standing because you check in the box, no. And you are not a part of the United States and neither were your parents. And then you attach that with it. They have to give you your passport in the proper standing. You can also do an affidavit of identity. If you got somebody in your family, grandma, auntie, or whoever was born already when you was born, do you know you can fill out the affidavit of identity and get the signature to sign? They got to go with you, and they won't use the birth certificate as a way to classify you as one of them. Yeah, that's true too. That's true too. And so the thing is, I will tell y'all because they're changing their EIN number. So y'all heard me say that once you set up properly, you know taxes is 3 years, right? So when I said that you would be able to go back 3 years to file properly for at the end of November 2022 is over. So you got 23, 24, 25. And one of the systems they're getting rid of come 2027, that lets me know too what's going on with the system and the other one, but you're gonna need both. And I'll tell y'all what it is at the class. What systems you need and how you're supposed to get it. But you need access to y'all homework should be make sure you can get an ID.me and never get thrown out. Because that's gonna be your one-way ticket to I'm being rich forever. I'm rich forever. So yeah, they ain't respond back. But yeah, y'all see it. I fucking pinned it. So for y'all who actually did the change in representative, you will start getting the mail that is actually sent to them because they are down as your trustee receiving your mail and they're not doing anything about it. And that's why everybody's on taxes because these corporations stopped paying taxes in 2020. When will the class be held? Next week. It's either going to be Saturday or Sunday. I got to get with Layla because Layla's going to come on because there are some things that you guys have to change. Do a change form for your trust. Not saying to get rid of it, but you're going to have to make some changes. And I told Layla, so I'm telling y'all, this is all me with this next part. I say um, because the system has changed and the new trust under the new system is being coded up under the Republic. I absolutely say you should have another one. Um, and you can always update the one that you have on file with the county and et cetera. That's your paper. You can update as many times as you want to. You can do an addendum anytime you want to. You don't have to ask them to do no changes to your shit because it's yours, right? But I will say my suggestion is get another one, get it up under the new system, file your proper taxes under both, which you can't because you're supposed to file taxes for each one of the trusts that you have. Unlike a 1040, you only can file once. And learn how to do the system. That's simple as that. The IRS is your friend, I can tell you that. They y'all motherfucking friend. Learn how to work their systems. You'll DM me to check because it won't let you join. Oh wow, that's crazy. Let me see. See if it'll let you join now. Oh, there you go. Hey. I don't know if her thing not working. Oh, she let hang it up. So yes, that's that, y'all. So I'll drop the link for the free seminar. Like I said, we're gonna do so many seats where you can be like physically in the webinar where it's chat and questions can be asked, and if that's what we decide that we're gonna do, like answer some questions. But if you don't make it to be in that number, then it will be streaming live on YouTube. So you can still watch it in real time. You just won't be on the physical webinar. How can I get in the fourth quarter takeover? Most of it's free on my YouTube. I'll go back and check which ones I haven't released. I'll go check and see. I'll go check and see. And if for some reason they not on there, I know they should be in the room with the other people, the other room. But I'll check and see. But you definitely have to do that 8822 and go ahead and get your post office box. That's very important to get that. It's very important to get the post office box, guys. Lockbox to lockbox funding. All right, I'll drop it in there. I'll drop it in there. I'm gonna drop it in there, and the changes that needed to be like things that may be a little different. According to just those videos, I'll do like a updated addendum or something and put it in there. Auntie gave the remedy for tax liens. I sure did. If you file the fucking taxes, you file them right. Remember, under your trust, I told y'all Jesus paid our debt. So, and under in God we trust, think about the word in God we trust. So, if you're operating out of your trust and you're filing 1041s as the trustee for your business, which is you, right? Because that's why you are the grantor of your trust. You'll see that on the IRS paper. It'll say that you are the grantor. Even though you are the trustee and you're the settler, yes, but you are. So, anything that's up under your name, anything that's up under your name, because remember, you are the administrator for the all cap name, the light bill, gas bill, water bill, rent, all of that is uppercase, right? Okay, so if all of that has been is up under your name and you are the trustee, so that is when you file. You can file the 1041 for it. Now, because you're filing it as a 1041, there is an exemption that everybody get per year. So as long, and it's on my page, as long as you're not over that exemption, then it makes you zero tax. They cannot tax the God of you. They only can tax the corporate of you. So if you're doing a 1040 with all of your corporate status on there, hell yeah, you owe them people. You're absolutely owe them. And when the debt is really supposed to go off onto whatever security agent corporation, think about it, the debt always goes to the corporation, never the trust. Even these companies who trade, that's why they transfer all of their notes to the trust part of their company. It's taxable. It's all taxable. They can't do anything. They're gonna get all of the money back. But technically, because they're doing a barter with us, the IRS needs to know that they're doing a barter, right? That a CUSIP number was created. Y'all not even doing that part right. The part where it say description, y'all putting the 2025 Mercedes G Coupe. That ain't the fucking asset. I keep telling y'all that's the perk. The asset is in the contract, which is now the security, which turned into a bond, and they're getting that money off of. And they trying to run away with your money by doing the damn voluntary bankruptcy. And then they're gonna say the system crashed. Y'all remember this day, because a lot of the shit that I've been saying, if you go down my page, is now happening. I keep telling y'all that I'm true to this. The fuck? It's only one me. I don't give a fuck how many people try. Bookie. No. No, just remember y'all heard it here first that Jesus got a UCC, that the corporations has changed. The prefixes for the EIN is 39. Even when you do a business now, if you do the EIN for a business, the business is in all capital letters. But where it says owner, or if you were smart, you put your name, and at the last name part, you put TTEE by it as the trustee. You're going to see that's all in upper and lowercase. For us that know, we know. That nigga brought back the republic. He said he was going to be the last president of the United States. And he is, because think about it. Everybody like, how is that? No, the United States of America. I mean, the United States, the corporation. Why you think the Gulf of Mexico is now called the Gulf of America? The old America is down there. The only America is down there on 6th Avenue in New York. It's called the Street of Americas, or the Avenue of America. I figured that the last time I was in New York. I said, well, this is really America I'm standing on. And why is that? Because every bank that is a bank, every bank that is a bank, including foreign banks like the Chinese People Bank, you're going to find them down there on 6th Avenue. But everybody calls it 6th Avenue because they don't know that the name of the street is the Avenue of Americas. So that was America, the banking system. So now we back up under the American Republic, for which it stands. One nation, under God. So get your ass under God. Learn how to work the system and live freely. You know, it's time. Their time is up. Fuck that. Their time is up. Like, take your proper place. The bridegroom cometh. Ain't got shit to do with no marriage. You a woman, you the bride. You a man, you the groom. Let's go. And don't get distracted. Don't let nobody distract y'all. If it ain't teaching you nothing or making you the money, or it's not growing you in some type of capacity in life, mental, spiritually, for yourself, for your children, this is not the time to be distracted. That's why all the distractions coming out. Now everybody talking about the government shutdown. Government shutdown, but shit, the airport still working. The IRS website still work. They want your distraction. Oh, Diddy. They want your distraction. Stop giving your distraction. This is not the hour for it. This ain't the hour for it. And so, tax season coming up too. Y'all better get on the good foot and learn how to properly do your shit, and not through a third party, and recoup what belongs to you. And make sure you got a brokerage account set up so you're not committing fraud again with the damn bank that's committing fraud. You don't want to do that. But everything's electronic now anyway. You're not getting no more paper treasury checks. Y'all ain't see that? Y'all ain't see that Trump is rewriting the Constitution? Mm-hmm. But we know his Constitution is the Constitution for the corporation. But he's rewriting it. National Guard everywhere. Come on, wake up, people. It's time to wake up. Damn, Diddy, it's my time. Right. There you go. Right. If the post office was open, the government ain't shit down for real. That part. But what does that tell you? I pinned today. That part, Ebony, is my mail came today. Shit. I even went and mailed some shit today. Like, are you serious? It's open. It's open. It's open. Cause yeah, y'all, I am gonna drop that in fourth quarter. I promise I'm gonna drop it, right? I'm doing better this time. Because there's a different type of way you need to fill out your post office box application, where it asks you when it asks you for like certain shit. So yeah. But yeah, get your PO box. And with you can put it in the name of your new trust. And then there's a spot that if you want additional mail to come there, then you put your old trust, right? So Put your trust there. But yeah, that's what's going on, y'all. I will hope that y'all will take time to go look at ID.me and watch the videos. When I tell you, these motherfuckers tell you everything. And when you hear them talking about we're doing ID.me to stop the fraud, the bad actors, we know that the fraud and the bad actors was all of these banking, where these banks saying that they were us and that they was working for us, and now they got the nerve to talk about they need to file bankruptcy because they ain't got no more money to pay their creditors, which is you and me. So yeah, Nazara and Gazara is really happening, but not in the way that the people thought. Y'all thought y'all was gonna wake up and not have no debts. No, they asked about to wake up and not have no debts. No, I didn't say you need a new trust. I didn't say that. What I said was that I would think it would be wise, but you don't have to have a new trust up under the new system. Of course, you're going to keep your other trust because you can file your taxes on that trust for the next 3 years. You got assets and stuff, right? So my thing is this. If you decide it is not mandatory, this is my own suggestion. This is just what I did, okay? I'm giving you my own, what I did for me. So under the new system, because I had to run and check when I seen that was upper and lowercase, I thought it was a typo. And I'm like, this can't be for real. So I went and did my own. And I was like, hot shit. I was able to do it. And not just that, not only was I able to do it, I was able to do it on a Saturday. Now, if y'all know that the the EIN office closes at 11 o'clock Monday through Friday and you're not getting the weekend, I was able to do it on a Saturday. I was fucking flabbergasted. That's how I knew something was up. But anyway, I chose to get one up under the new system because they did this change for a reason. And I'm not about to get left behind. So behind me is my old one. In front of me is my new one. I know I can still file taxes on it for 3 years. I got assets in it. I can keep it. But what I did to make sure with my new one, I just changed the beneficiary to the new trust. And I will go and file it on the record as proper. And that's just that. Because, like I said, things have changed. We got digital asset laws now and things. Those things need to be added into your existing trust, right? Y'all just heard Layla say her trust was set up before 2020 and she was trying to do a proper transaction that she can no longer do because the laws changed. So if you have a trust that's in another state, you have a trust in one state and a bank account in another, you usually can still conduct business properly. Not anymore. You would have to get a letter from the banking commissioner to do so. But once again, why would you not want to trust in the state in which it is that's already holding your trust? Your clerk, where you live, even if you've moved, is now in possession of your trust that was transferred from state to state because you're now owned by this state because they're all a part of the union. Okay. Yep, I did this on me on Sunday afternoon. You did ID.me? Yeah. Is it named the same? No, I didn't name it the same. No. It's about anonymity. No, I didn't name it the same. But I wanted one with them 39 prefix. I know what that means. If you look up IRS, what 39 means and the EIN number, that's Philadelphia. And I know the power in Philadelphia, and that's where the original Constitution was written. They made you close yours from Vegas and register in Philly. Y'all see what I'm saying? I ain't telling y'all no lies. Look, Big Mika flat out said they made her, and that's what's happening. They're gonna make because it has all the rules have changed, y'all. You send me the DM, okay? I use the certificate of deeds.com and it says to list property. Absolutely, you want to list your property and your Schedule A. You got ID.me long ago. It's been a wonderful tool for the last couple of years. Thank you, God, for everything. I was able to save my family and stay. Wait a minute. I did a title report under the state and found out we had another four. Wait a minute. What? Come talk to me. See, that's the type of shit I like to hear. You want to come talk to me? Let me see. JX Smooth. That is amazing. Yeah, I just invited you if you can come up. That is amazing. See, that's the type of stuff I like to see. I've been gone, but y'all still supposed to be doing the work. Not looking for a savior. Jesus saved you already. Look, y'all about to have me around here singing the Jesus Save song. I'm like, wait a minute, that nigga Christ and lead all these niggas. I say he gangster. He gangster. That nigga was gangster. That nigga flipped the tables and leaned there. I was like, what? I said, this cannot be true. This cannot be true. But I got mine certified. So when I post, it's certified. Like you can see that because I needed that UCC certified because ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell. Well, congratulations, JX Smooth. Yes, it is time to do the quiet title. And did you pull the original meets and bounds and not the coordinates from the archives? If you pull that from the archives, that is what you put on the title when you're transferring it. Not the what they put coordinates and then say known as. No, you'll do all of the meets and bounds. So now what you're doing is you're taking possession back of the land, especially since you found out you got another 425 acres. I know that's right. Congratulations. You're driving out academia perfect, but very much congratulations. Yeah, he got like 100 pages of liens. I told y'all. Watch. Now everybody gonna tell y'all know Jesus got a lien. Y'all give him my, you know. He ain't got a lean. He lean. That nigga lean back. He like a lean back. A lean back. That nigga lean back on all the countries. And said God gave him the authority, but God did. Didn't God give us the authority? He sure the fuck did. He said, ask and he shall receive. So Jesus really do save, y'all. Auntie, in the terms of the FOIA, do I need to do anything extra to be able to get it authenticated, or just print it out? You print it out and then you fill out the authentication paper the same way that if you did your birth certificate, it's the same exact way, and then you send it off to get done. I saw that the United Nations lean on TikTok. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, United Nations and New York, they are the assigners, and God. They are the assigners. Can we do a see Lucy, a UCC on our court case with our trust? Um, you could, but I will tell you that if you don't do the whole thing, the repercussions that could happen, because that is the police and you know how the fuck they act and they don't like to lose. But if I was you, I would file the A and the A on the case and the B and make sure that you out of their system properly. I went over that in fourth quarter takeover. How to let the Department of Revenue know in your state that you are now the trustee. How you send notification to the Attorney General, letting him know that that name and what it is that they're trying to charge belongs to the trust. And if you had the proper knowledge on how to properly file the taxes for the case, that's how you'll get paid because of the charging instrument. And then that'll make it go away. You really wish you can give me a hug for real? I couldn't do it without you. I mean that from the, oh, you about to make, see people like that. I appreciate y'all. Y'all done let all my hard work be in vain. Do y'all know what I gotta go through to be me? Y'all see it? But it's only one me. Her name is T from the motherfucking D. Stop playing with me. I done paid away for a lot. I'm going down like Patrick Devine. Y'all gonna always know that man's name, and y'all gonna always know mine. Fuck. Yes, I save all of my posts in my lives. I do. ABB, the court case. That's right. And if you're smart, you'll get the. Oh, and y'all know that I had went through a couple different people trying to properly give y'all like access to your CUSIP numbers. Because if you put your CUSIP number in that description box, that's how you get it audited. Not no fucking car, y'all. You don't put them Carter. If you put the CUSIP number that's attached to your case, I will tell you guys during this time, I was blessed by one of my good students. She's probably on here with the actual broker that does them. He not playing no games. You don't need no audit reports. You don't need none of that shit. You need your fucking CUSIP number. That is how you get the IRS to audit the account, because you put it inside of the description box, right? And we do know that every contract was turned over as a mortgage-backed security. So in the description box, you will write mortgage security, CUSIP, or you just write CUSIP and you'll put the number. And when I tell you, you'll get a check real fast if you do it that way. So yeah. So I do got a guy. I did talk to him and told him, when I come back, he's very inexpensive. When I say inexpensive, I got some shoes cost more than this man do, but they accurate and they're right. And it actually gives you your major and your minor. If you don't know what major and minor mean when it comes to CUSIP numbers, if I was you, I would look it up. But you have a major account and you have a minor account. They have two different CUSIP numbers and they are traded differently. So that's two checks. That's two for one account. Um, when we do the class, I will talk to him again and make sure it's okay that I can pass the information over to him. But I will tell you, do not do no fucking get something you don't know what you're getting it for. But he tied tested and approved. I will tell y'all that. And he's very quick. Of course, the busier you get, but he's very quick. I got it back within like 24 hours, and it was solid as hell. That audit came quick. It's real because I gave them exactly what they're looking for. So in your description boxes, you're not putting if it's a house, if it's a car, and I'm talking about if you're doing anything with a 1099. Now, this is just because I read the Enroll Agent book and off of my own personal doing. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you how to operate. I'm just telling you the information is there. And if I was you, I would go pull the circular for the A and I would pull the circular for both the B. And then I would go from there. And I'll make sure that I'm on file properly, that they know that this is not a fraud. That's why you got to go through ID Me. Like, you go in there and start filing stuff, they know that it's you or that you gave permission for it to be accessed, because that's the way you'll be signing in to all of your accounts and etc. So yeah, y'all, that's that. How do you get your CUSIP? I send it to a broker. He gets it. He gets it. Now you have the option to ask for major and minor, or just minor. It's an emergency option, but I will tell you that if you're gonna get it, get the major and the minor, because that's two accounts. I told y'all they get paid 3 times. Y'all thought I was playing with that. So after they done already got their original issue discount and they transfer and create a CUSIP number, they get paid 3 ways. What's the 3 ways? They got a major CUSIP, they got a minor CUSIP, and then they have you. That's their 3 ways. They do everything in threes. Oh, so you couldn't get it myself. I don't know if you can. I have never gotten mine myself. I like to go to people who are certified in what they do. Like, I stay in my lane, and I want to make sure my shit right. So dealing with a actual broker who has access to the system is what matters to me. So I stick to my lane. You want to trust? Go see Layla. You want to CUSIP? Go see my dude. And is it gonna be right? Hell yeah. You don't need no process. You don't need no, because audit reports ain't giving you nothing. It's giving you the fucking prospectus. And you don't know if the number, the CUSIP that they claim to give you on the audit report is even correct. What I do know is that, here, I'm gonna pull one, but I'm gonna have to just change some of my info. Hold on, so y'all can see what I'm talking about when I talk about major and minor. Hold on. When I tell y'all, where my thing at? Can I tell y'all, I do not be playing. I don't know what my cards. I do not be playing. Oh, you know them all the times for the cards that y'all say I ain't got. But anyway, let me find the cute somebody for y'all. Hold on one second. I keep this box on handy. Anything ever happen, my kids know to come get this box. The box is beautiful. It's I got to charge it back up. Oh, it actually says some stuff on it. But hold on. Let me just cover up the account number. The very first land grab was in 1860 with the Oh yeah, and if by chance you get a coaching call from Layla, this box that y'all just seen me have, it actually you can record in here. It actually gives you like what happened or whatever, but you can record and leave your family messages. It's called the Legacy Box. If you go in her bio, she got those. If y'all ever wanted one. But hold on. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. I want y'all to be able to see it. Okay. So when I talk about the CUSA, right? So you see it say, and then y'all see my name. It tells you what fund is in. It gives you the CUSA, but it gives you the signal, the symbol. You know what the symbol is. That's what's on the stock market. It tells you when this fund was created. So that's the minor. That's the major account that is in it, right? Then the minor account. Now you see how much they have in this fund. Now, no, all of that don't fucking belong to me. All of that don't belong to me. It's pooled, so it's in a fund. Okay. So what happens is that when you put this on the proper forms and you go tell that you have a transaction with them, the IRS uses the CUSIP number to go find the account that belongs to you. And then that's when you'll get the corrected what you call it and stuff. So yeah, that's what they look like. So that's the difference in the major and the minor. Can I drop Layla's information? Yeah. Can somebody tag Creditogenics for me? Oh yeah, I love my angel numbers. So the free seminar will be on do we need to stand still living form to attorney general? I would. You have to remember the federal government and the state are two different things. If you're taking over control of you, you have to put everybody on notice. So yes, once you have registered your trust on file with your county, right? Then that is when you will absolutely let the attorney general know that you the new sheriff in town and they don't have no rights over you. Okay. But yeah, y'all deep trust questions, Layla. She she is the fucking shit. She is the shit. And if you look at when it talks about administrator, how many of y'all ever looked at the bottom of your EIN and it tells you what your control name is? Do y'all know what the control name means? Can you get a court class? Yeah, they fraud. That's why you gotta tell them that you're running your own shit. Is your CUSIP guy listed as a mortgage broker IG? Actually, he doesn't have social media. He's an older guy. He ain't got no social media. Mm-mm. Y'all make sure you're trying to resend your car. See, this is what I want in this new season. And then somebody just asked me about court. In this new season, I want you to look at everything as a tax. I've said it before. Maybe I said it in a way that y'all didn't understand. So I told you I worked on that to make sure that it's more simpler for you guys to grasp as well as be able to execute. So if they making money off of you and they supposed to pay, then you are supposed to report it. And that's how you report it through informational tax. But you ain't supposed, well, you not that you're not supposed to, but going through a third party to do it makes it harder. Now they've changed everything where you have the ability to do it yourself, right? So the question is how do we do it ourselves? That's where Tamika come in. That's where Tamika come in at. And it'll be done within enough time that during tax season you will be able to do what you need to do. And then moving forward, you'll know how to deal with contracts and deal with, you know, being the trustee of the estate. Well, of the trust, because the estate mean dead. Your name ain't dead, your name is a business. That's where people get that messed up. Oh, I'm dead. My all caps is a dead man. No, your all caps is a business. So operate your business properly and properly file when it's due. But because you are the grantor and you're filing it up under the trust laws, and the trust laws say you owe no man but none but the loved one because you're back under God we trust, it's all soft. And then the people stop stealing all of your securities. So yeah, you know, that's that. But yeah, go look at the Dodd-Frank Act, and you will see in there where it said you own stock, well, stock within that company for your deposits. SSI gave me a letter saying I'm not deceased. Beautiful. I do know that people have been getting letters because they did in the state, and I guess they filed some paperwork. I don't know exactly because I don't do that, but they trying their best now to get out of the Social Security system as being dead because the states is for dead people, and that's why when y'all be reading and you're like, oh, Georgia, say I need a licensed attorney over the estate. The estate is with the state. Think about it. Estate is with the state, right? So of course you're going to need a licensed attorney to administer an estate, but you don't need one to administer a trust. Yeah, I take my money out of Chase and put it in Charles Schwab. I would. Hell yeah, I would. I would have a brokerage account because them other ones about to go belly up. They about to be like whoop de doo. They be like whoop de doo. Ask her for a one-on-one consultation. Who? Layla? Yeah, she does coaching calls. Yeah, I don't do consults. Mm-mm. I don't do consults. This is my only page. I do not have a TikTok, though it ain't me at all. It's my only page. I got the receipt dropper, but I'm never on there. Um, the only way I'll go on there was I got banned from doing a live on here. But because of the new changes, so y'all know starting I believe it's December the 16th, that TikTok is going away. It ain't going away, but it is. So they gave it back to Israel. Didn't I tell you? They gave it to Israel. Didn't I tell y'all we free? To the Israelites, right? So, but in order to utilize their app, you are going to have to download a new app and start all over again. I feel bad for people with all the millions and millions of followers because they're going to have to start over. But also, TikTok changed ownership and they went going bankrupt as well the way that they're doing it. That's why they was doing, so all those things that they were doing, giving people a lot of money. So, but what they're doing is because TikTok has so much good information on there. Like TikTok is the fucking best, and I love the TikTok shop, right? But my TikTok page, it is private. It is a personal page, and that's just it. So I do not have a TikTok for Rap the Freedom, okay? But because so much information gets out over there, when all of these things go belly up, right? They don't want the communication to be for people to understand what's happening. So they changed the rules and the terms and conditions and etc. Meta has also done the same thing. So I'm going to be very, very, very careful of how I say things on this particular app. I'm still looking into YouTube to see what changes they're doing, but I will tell you that in this new season, I am doing things different, and I am my bad, y'all. I did. I am starting to create a fan base page. If I was y'all, I would download it. Fan base is also owned by us. Okay, and you can actually be an investor as a fan base if you want to. Right, look in it. You might as well because people gonna get to running over there. But what I do like about it has like little meeting rooms. Like if I'm doing a live, I can take it out of public, or if just certain people. So I am going to begin to post over there because of all of these changes. We know Meta is bought, and now TikTok has been sold, and they are not going to be allowing a lot of information like the sharing is now on the new app. And I always want to be prepared and ready, right? So, yep, I'll put y'all on my yes fan base. And if I was y'all looking to the investor side of it, and it's owned by us, like I talked to the guy, it's not going to be none of that censorship, none of that, because the things that are going to be the new system and learning how to operate it is about to be the best. Don't come over there like, oh, it's a court case, or oh, it's a this. It's all um taxes. That's it. I've been telling y'all for the longest. It's all taxes. Learn how to file the taxes. And once you learn, do it every quarter, and you ain't got to worry about no money. And you ain't got to worry about the bank taking your money, telling you what to do. And you get all your shit sent to your brokerage account, your trust account, your TDA account through Swift. You know, getting into digital currency, but then getting you a cold storage wallet to transfer out of. So yeah, y'all, that is that. You just sent me the letter. Okay. Oh yes, I saw fan base advertising a lot. Yeah, I remember when they first came out. I'm very proud of how far they went, and I like the fact that it's not no the censorship is like none, and I like the fact that um it's by us, right? And that you can invest in it as well. And the investments are not a lot, but not just that. On fan base, they, you know how with like TikTok, I think you gotta have like 10,000 followers to go live or to get paid. It's not like that on fan base. Like their program looks amazing, but I know that in this new season, because the world is about to be shook up. Like now is the time that I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Sam's Club and I'm gonna stock up. You know, let me call my Popeye dude. Nigga, let me get some more, because this shit is about to go down, y'all. Like, very quickly. It's going to be some whoop-de-doo shit. You're going to be like, what the hell just happened? It's going to happen overnight, just like COVID. One day you wake up and they be like, the whole world is shut down. You know, and if you know the real reason why the National Guard is here, they ain't here for us. They here for the foreigners. Didn't they say they here for the foreigners? Who is the foreigners, y'all? Just jumping in. Everything is taxes. You talking about how to correctly report these, right? Yeah, you could. You could report their ass by let them know y'all got a relationship. So who is the foreigners, y'all? Who the foreigners? We are. We ain't the foreigners. Even though people that cross over to Mexico ain't the foreigners. Who is the foreigners? The Popo. Yes. I've been told y'all they are protected under the Foreign Agent Act. That's why they have immunity. Those are the foreigners. The National Guard is here to make sure that the foreigners get the fuck out. Do you know how that's gonna be? Trying to tell them to leave with all this power they got? We're not the foreigners. They are. They are foreign agents. Go read the Foreign Agent Act. They are foreigners. That's why they got immunity and all type of shit. Even if you look an attorney up, if you look an attorney up, you're gonna see that he's registered under the foreign as a foreign company on the foreign side of your state. The judge, all of them, they're foreign. They work for the British. We are United States of America, 10 miles square, 10 square miles. Somebody who finally got it, everybody like 10 miles square. Like, no, it's not the same. Yeah, I think you got to sue the companies for a bigger settlement. Why you want to sue them when you can just get your money back by filing properly? You don't have to do none of that. And y'all, you going to take them to court, and unless you got a business court in your state, you still dealing with some foreign actors, and think you're going to win? No, it don't work like that. That's why I ain't never told y'all to take these people to court. I told y'all to do arbitration. But even with arbitration, they didn't. No, go after your money. Stop asking these people. Ask and shall receive. Learn how to manage your own affairs properly. And you don't have to ask these people anything. Yeah, London Bridge then fell down. What you gonna sue them for? And then are you gonna sue them right? What kind of lawsuit you gonna get? If you gonna sue them to get your money, what you gonna take them in federal court? I've been told y'all to stop wasting $400. What you gonna do? Take them in state court? But you're taking them in state court and they register as a foreign entity, so you're not gonna win that. But then you're taking them in court and the court is fake too. So honestly, if you were going to sue them, how and where? Can you take them to a court? Yeah. Can you take them to federal court? You can, but y'all taking them to the wrong part of the federal court. Y'all going in there with, with a cover letter and shit. Hey, how y'all? But who am I? All of your rights are always violated. I want y'all to do me a favor, y'all. I know this is a lot of information that's out, and everybody's talking about it. But before we have this class next week, wash yourself. Wash your brain. Everything. I'm not going to say forget everything you've been taught, because you can never do that. But I need you to not look at it like that. I don't need you to look at it like a court bill is any different than a car note bill. They're not. They're all QSIPs. They're all bonds. They're all securities. They're security transfer agents. That's it. And so the same way they report you and you owe, you report them, they owe, right? Then if you don't want to deal with these people in the next season because they are violating all of your shit, you can still utilize them within a transaction without giving them full custody of all the securities that belong to you, and still get paid by becoming your own trustee fiduciary, your own financial person. And how do you do that? You do it with the biggest bank. Well, what is the biggest bank? The fucking Treasury. So how do I get to the Treasury? Who does the work for the Treasury, right? The IRS. Then, because there's a difference in the Internal Revenue Service and the IRS. They literally created systems, but they forgot to tell us how to do them. Like, they literally go play around on that website. You'll be like, what the? I'm trying to tell y'all, they tell you what to do. And you don't have to wait, because guess what? They'll have to answer the IRS. You don't want to be trustee. They are. How come you don't want to be trustee? What do you mean? You want to. How do you have a trust that you're not trustee of? You have a grantor's trust and you're not the trustee? So how you going to administer? That's the question. How you going to administer if you're not the trustee? You're not the trustee now. Well, you actually are the trustee now. You just ain't on the record. You are the trustee. You're not on the record as one. But you are the administrator. Your registered agent is the county clerk. It all started in the hospital. You gave the hospital authorization to register you. Then they took it and sold it to the county. It's a diagram somewhere on my page. It shows you exactly how it moved. So the judge did not recognize that you have a trust in bankruptcy court. Are you in bankruptcy court under Chapter 7? They absolutely won't recognize you got a trust, not in the Chapter 7. Not in the, because on the Chapter 7, you the one came in there and said you wanted to file bankruptcy. Okay, so for example, that's a prime example that I can give. You know how if you've ever filed bankruptcy and you filed it on yourself and you saying that you don't want to have to pay none of the creditors that you thought was creditors, right? So you didn't put all your bills down on there. You go to bankruptcy court, y'all have a meeting of the creditors and you're the only one there. Do that make sense? You have a meeting of the creditors, but you're the only one there. Sound like you're a creditor. So you go in there and ask them to forgive all of your debts. The same thing that you just did, the corporations just did. They did it voluntary. They voluntarily said, whew, we don't want to pay these motherfuckers. We can't pay our debts. We ain't got enough money, right? And then the bankruptcy court gives them authorization. But what they did a reorganization. Now, instead of doing a reorganization where there was a U.S. trustee that was over the case under a voluntary, they can say, we're going to reorganize ourselves. So they did it themselves, and in the process, they started transferring everybody's shit out because they done already created a new EIN for a new business that look like the same business, even though it ain't the same business. They gonna still be profiting off them. But wait a minute, oh shit, we made all the notes callable, which means we can call them notes ASAP to say that they are due, and we're gonna transfer everything to the new company, and then we're gonna start all over again. But now that the blockchain gonna be here and you can see everything, they have to do things differently. And once again, they gotta get your permission to do it. Everything they're doing, you gave them permission to do. You did not know it because you didn't know the lingo, you didn't know the terminology. That's just as simple as that. You didn't know the terminology, you gave up all your shit, and you're being held liable for it because they're a responsible party. Y'all just seen on here, one of my people said they did the responsible party form and took it away from whoever they took it from, and then they end up getting a check in the mail from the IRS. The first time I showed y'all that, it was the lady owed the IRS, and because um whatever bank it was stopped paying her taxes in 2020. So y'all just got to look at it differently. Like, take a break, a mental axe to go deeper, or don't look at it. It's a light bill, it's a gas bill. No, it's not. It's a bond. That is a dividend check from you. These corporations have fucked us over for 99 years. They cannot do it any longer the way that they were doing it. And this is your opportunity to be absolute free. If you free your mind, you're free the rest. And you don't have much time to be able to do it. And it's hard to erase 20, 30 years worth of stuff. But you're going to have to do what you have to do in this season if you expect to win. But it's right here in front of you. And every last one of y'all can. So yeah, y'all, that's that. But I'm about to get over here. I was on here longer than I said that I was going to be. But yes, I am back. I will drop sometime tomorrow. Don't bug me. Don't ask me. Yeah, I'll drop sometime tomorrow once I get with Layla for the exact day and time. And I'll put the link up for you to be able to register for the free webinar. And like I said, if you miss your window, do that. It will be streamed on I'm gonna stream it on Layla's page. So y'all just make sure y'all go over there, subscribe, and get notifications. But it will be next week, the free seminar, and come with some foundation and an open mind. And it's a great time to be alive, y'all. So yeah, y'all, I'm back. I'll let y'all soon. I'm gonna drop some stuff. If I drop it, it's for a reason. Snapshot it and stare at it until you figure it out. That's the level I'm on. I'm not about to be not holding your hand, okay? But I will drop some things to show that a lot of the things, well, all the things that I told y'all tonight is true, so you can go and see it for yourself, And I will drop in the YouTube room the changes that need to be done to your post office PO box thing or whatever. If it's contrary to anything or has changed since I did the fourth quarter takeover, I will give you all those updates. On that note, if you were in the old and you're still not in there, which is very understandable because I've not been in there, I do have y'all in the Dropbox, so I will update it in there too. So if you actually signed up for that Dropbox, that still work, and you'll get it. And I need y'all to know that having a trust is important. Now, even though I've been gone, there is a link in my bio that had examples of at least getting you a trust set up. And every time somebody click it, because it's a Dropbox, I will get an email for it. And the amount of people that just ignored that was there, the amount of people that are opening and only open it for a second instead of realizing that I just literally gave you how to do at least a basic trust so that you can get one. That information is still up there in the bio. So on that note, y'all have a good day. I will drop tomorrow the link. And yeah, let's get it. Bye.